I don't even think the conference finals is enough. I think they have to win the NBA championship. And that's going to be on the broad shoulders of Shaquille O'Neal. By the numbers, the third greatest winner in the history of NBA basketball. And when you talk about playoff basketball, that's won and lost by who dominates the paint and who better. Pat Riley said, we're going to go to Shaq. He'll do whatever it takes. On the other hand, they also have Dwayne Wade, who, despite being an all-star player, despite being a national team level player, Dwayne Wade has not been able to produce against his hometown Chicago Bulls. Spectacular numbers in this regular season. Fifth leading scorer in the NBA, but to shoot 24% and score only 12 points a game, that will not get it done for Dwayne Wade. They're going to need everything they have against this red-hot Chicago Bulls team, Mike.
The Bulls won 12 of their last 14 to get in. They needed everything they had just to make it to the playoffs. Steve, if they are to succeed in this series, it's got to be with the backcourt guys.
Well, it does have to be with the backcourt guys, and what they've got to do is they've got to believe collectively as a team that they can get it done. The guys that will bring the heat for them. Ben Gordon, the last time we saw him, he had a 10-for-10 three-point game going, one here, and then Kirk Hinrich. So I think that this team has to have those backcourt players play well, because if there's a chink in the Heat armor, it is their perimeter defense. So if those guys play well, they have an outstanding chance. And their numbers have to be better than what these numbers were for the regular season.
Pat Riley has returned for Miami. He will be on the bench. No Alonzo Mourning for the Heat. Game 1, Miami and Chicago from South Florida. Next.
The 2006 Motor Trend Sport Utility of the Year, the Nissan Xterra. Show us your X.
Tomb Raider Legend. In stores now. I'm waiting. Rated T for teen.
All-season radio tires. Anti-lock brakes. Electronic stability control. They made everything about the automobile safer. Except the driver. Introducing the Safe Driving Bonus. New from Allstate. With cash off your renewal bill for every 6 months you don't have one of these. It's time to make the world a better place to drive. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands?
Stubborn warts? Why wait for a doctor when you can do the same treatment at home? Introducing Dr. Scholl's Dual Action Freeze Away. It's twice as effective as freezing alone. It combines freeze technology and a maximum strength liquid. To remove large warts, see the doctor. Dr. Scholl's.
ESPN and Paramount are bringing fans the impossible. X Games gold medalist Mike Metzger will attempt a backflip over the fountains at Caesars Palace, live May 4th at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. For more of the impossible, don't miss Mission Impossible 3 in theaters May 5th.
Now, from Avacor Hair Regrowth, there's today's Avacor with Boost that gives you visibly thicker hair with the first application. With today's Avacor, you get twice the benefits.
Thinning hair results from toxic degeneration of the hair follicle. Avacor targets the hair follicle to reverse hair loss, improve blood flow, and stimulate new hair growth.
But don't just take our word for it.
I decided to fight back. I tried Avacor because they give a money-back guarantee. In just 3 months, my hair came back. I was amazed.
Well, I'm 72 years old, and I can tell you honestly, I have a fuller, healthier head of hair now than I did when I was 18 years old. Avacor really worked.
And remember, Avacor Boost will improve your hair's appearance the day you receive your order.
Call now and find out how you can get 3 months of Avacor free with your order. Call 800-347-1444. That's 800-347-1444. 800-347-1444.
Welcome back to Times Square once again for ESPN Full Circle. The Bulls and the Heat That game coming up momentarily, and again, we'll have different angles. The game will be called from here in the studio. But there was a game played earlier today on ABC. LeBron James making his debut in the playoffs. And LeBron was a little bit nervous, shot an air ball with his first shot. After that, it was all LeBron all the time.
That was the only mistake he made all day because he really dominated this game. It was all about him, not only scoring, but creating things for his teammates. Washington had absolutely no answer for this guy.
You know, the other thing I like about this game, it's hard to be nervous when you play against the Wizards defense because that breeds confidence for you as a basketball team. You know you're going to be able to get the shots you want. And LeBron, once he settled down, realized this is still the Washington Wizards we're playing against.
Well, I think this is a great team for LeBron to match up with. When you talk about the Washington Wizards, a team that doesn't play defense, he knew that he had a little bit of a challenge ahead of him, but it gave him an opportunity to get that first nervous game out of him, and it was a great one.
LeBron James becoming only the third player in NBA history to record a triple-double in their first playoff game. But, all right, that's just one game. The Wizards know they have the experience from last year how to win a series. Does it make a difference?
Well, they obviously have problems stopping this team, but they also know that their goal going in this situation, every team on the road, try to get one out of those two. They've got to regroup. They've got to focus. They've got to find out a way to make this guy not as comfortable because LeBron James had the ball in the middle of the floor almost the entire game, and Washington had a difficult time trying to figure out where the double team's going to come from when he's got the ball there. That enabled Danielle Marshall and Damon Jones and Eric Snow, guys, to get wide open looks. They've got to make defensive adjustments. They're not a great defensive team. They've got to do something to make his life a little bit more uncomfortable. He just did whatever he wanted.
Well, if you're the Washington Wizards, you got to remember, though, the playoffs are really all about adversity and adjustments. And all you got to do is go back to last season. Remember, they were 2-0 down to the Chicago Bulls, won 4 consecutive games. So they know they're capable. They know they're better offensively than they played today. And as bad as their defense is, they still held Cleveland under 100 points. So it wasn't as poor as a defensive performance as one might believe. It was more an ineffective offense that they brought to the table.
Well, if you're the Washington Wizards, you have to hope you have a better, outstanding offensive performance. This team is not a defensive team. There's no way they're going to be able to come up and bring out the defensive performance that they need to win on the road. It has to come from the offense.
Okay, let's talk about LeBron James again. I know it's only one game, all right? But it was a very impressive performance. How far can he take them?
Well, I think he can certainly get him through this round. It's not realistic to expect him to get into the next round and beat a team like the Detroit Pistons, his first time in the playoffs. But I think if they get through this round, you've got to consider the season a great success, and it's a stepping stone of what LeBron James will eventually be able to do with this team. They're still a few parts away from being able to contend with a team like Detroit, but I think he answered a lot of questions today about any sort of playoff pressure.
Well, for me, it's already a success, the fact that they made the playoffs. Remember, they made it without having Larry Hughes all season long, so it's been a successful season. This is all icing on the cake, and the experience is going to bode well for his future.
Well, I think when you speak of Larry Hughes, Flip Mary, these two guys haven't yet got off to the start that we're looking forward to. And I think looking at what LeBron James was able to do today, it should send out a scary signal to the Wizards.
Yeah, I was going to say that's bad news for the Washington Wizards if Cleveland did not play their best in this game with LeBron James getting a triple-double. Right now, let's send everybody over to ESPN. We're going to be back here with ESPN Full Circle. Let's join Mike Tirico.
John, thank you. We look forward to the ESPN2 commentary from you guys. We'll be here on ESPN, both in high definition from the American Airlines Arena in Miami. Time now for the starting lineups delivered by AT&T. Very familiar lineups for the Miami side, but when you start with the Bulls, it's adjusted as they've made this run here toward the playoffs. Andres Nocioni, the Argentine, Michael Sweetney, and Malik Allen. The backcourt, as Steve talked about, Kirk Hinrich and Ben Gordon. Miami getting back mostly to its regular rotation from the year. The one decision Pat Riley had, Antoine Walker or James Posey. He stays with Walker, the hot hand, with O'Neal and the Miami native, Udonis Haslem. The backcourt, Jason Williams back as the starter, Gary Payton off the bench, and Dwayne Wade. It's been a very difficult week for Pat Riley, whose mother, Mary, passed away yesterday. For more on that, here's our Mark Jones. Mark?
Yes, it's been a very poignant week for Coach Riley with the passing of his mother. He said that his level of desperation to get to see Mary Riley in her final ailing moments were very high last Sunday. He also added that it's underscored by the fact that he was unable to be by his father's side when he passed away several years ago. But Mary Riley's final words, final message to her son were pointed. She said, life goes on, so get on with it. And that's what the coach is exactly doing tonight, guys, albeit with a very heavy heart. Back to you guys.
Mark, Pat Riley missed the final 2 regular season games Tuesday and Wednesday, returned to the team yesterday, and his mom passed away on Friday. Heat in the white, Bulls in the red. Shaquille O'Neal set to jump it And the Heat will start with it. Off we go. Game 1, best of 7. 4th time these teams have met in a playoff series. All in the Jordan era. Chicago won the first 3.
Miami has only won 1 playoff game in its history against the Chicago Bulls.
First triple of the series for Jason Williams. Sat out 7 games with right knee tendonitis. Came back into the lineup last Sunday and feels pretty good at this point.
Can Malik Allen attack Shaquille O'Neal?
Michael Sweetney with the miss. He tried to bank one in, exactly what he did the first possession last Sunday when these teams met down here, out of bounds. We'll stay down here with Miami. The 3 meetings of these teams this year, the first 2 won by Miami in Chicago. Riley's team losing last Sunday, a game we had on ABC. Bulls won by 24, but Dwayne Wade and Shaq Snapper only played 20 minutes in that game.
Well, you can expect an early dose of the ball going inside to Shaq early and often to see how the defense is going to react. And they're going to try to get him going, and he hits his first 2.
That's a great sign for Pat Riley. Shaquille O'Neal, who leads the NBA in points in the paint at 16 points per game. He only averages 20 points, so he basically never makes a shot outside of the lane anymore in his career. Beautiful pass.
To the cutting Malik Allen, who has come into the starting lineup for Chicago and been effective. Allen, a former Miami Heat performer. 5-2 in the early going. The assist on that one went to Michael Sweetney in the first foul of the game, called by Joe Crawford. Joe Crawford, who is the lead official with Joe DeRosa and Tony Brothers tonight. Crawford working his 253rd NBA playoff game, more than any other active official.
They would like to get this guy off. Dwayne Wade, get him going early along with Shaq and make it difficult for the Chicago defense.
He sees a lot of red shirts. Udonis Haslem off the mark, and the rebound by Nocioni. Full of energy.
And Sweetney pounding up and down the floor.
Ben Gordon, his 3 off the mark, and the board cleared by O'Neal.
Ill-advised shot selection.
Antoine Walker, also a Chicago native. Shaq shuffled him. He doesn't think so. Joe Crawford said, we're coming the other way, Bulls ball.
Chicago's game is going to be up and down, try to make some turnovers, get up the floor, use their speed and quickness, defensively get back in, pack it around Shaq, deflect any balls, and give themselves a chance to maybe steal this first game.
Gordon from 19 knocks it down. Ben Gordon, who's in his 2nd year. 4 significant Bulls performers are in their 2nd year. These are the baby Bulls. Of the top 9 in their rotation, only one guy's been in the league more than 5 years. That's Othella Harrington. He only plays 11 minutes a game. Jason Williams, 2 for 2 from the outside.
A great sign, again, offensively for Pat Riley. Jason Williams looking razor sharp. A real spring and bounce to his step with that painful knee tendonitis.
Nocioni missed it. O'Neal cleans the glass again. Williams the speed. Walker deep triple. Udonis Haslem goes up, takes it away from Sweetney. Count it, and a foul.
What this crowd has come to expect in this playoff year is the intensity that they did not see at the regular season. That rebound effort by Udonis Haslem has to be there in every game if they're going to get to Detroit.
Which is exactly what Pat Riley demanded and challenged of this Heat squad. We all know that they have the talent, they have the experience, they have the savvy, but that's not going to be enough to get it done. They need the effort throughout the next 2 months that we're seeing here in the opening 3 minutes.
Haslem completes the 3-point play. 6-point early lead for the Heat, the 2 seed winners of the Southeast Division, 52 wins on the season. Nocioni, write it down. We're going to give him a nickname, Red Bull. That defines Andres Nocioni. He is energy, he is intensity, he is passion. He brings it every possession.
I don't understand this Red Bull. I see he has a red jersey on it, says Bulls on it.
Back to you later in the show. Shaq working against the double team. Doesn't matter. There's nobody in a Red Bull uniform, Bill, who can stay with Shaq one-on-one. They're going to need to help Michael Sweetney and company. Sweetney misses over the extended arm of O'Neal.
Sweetney has come to play. I have never seen him play a level and pace of attack. 3-second violation. Joe Crawford waving it off.
Shaq just smiling as Scott Skiles, who was a teammate of O'Neal in Orlando, reminded us when we met with the Bulls head coach an hour ago, guys, Shaq is the hardest player in the league in this generation to officiate. You can call a foul every time down. That time, 3 seconds, Shaq was waiting for the whistle.
And often those fouls could be called offensive fouls against Shaq.
6 to shoot. Allen can make that.
Malik Allen, who used to play here for Pat Riley, tremendous addition to Scott Skiles this year. Chicago looks good, Steve.
But a good sign for the Bulls is that they're making their shots. This is a jump shooting scheme, and all of the jumpers are going in. Walker.
Antoine misses his second three of the run out. Nocioni had his arm up. Miami was back. Kirk Hinrich, the point guard. He misses. Good rebound for Sweetney. Nocioni looks for a three. At one point this year, Andres led the NBA in three-point shooting, fell off significantly, but still ended up at 39%. That's top 30 in the league.
But he aborted his follow-through. That's what cost him the miss.
Walker lucky to keep control of that. Gordon a quick hand. 6 to shoot.
Shaquille O'Neal's stationary screen looked like a total lunar eclipse.
Here is Hinrich on the runner. Kirk Hinrich at 6'3", 190, not the speediest guy, not the first one you'd pick just on looks to be on your team, but after you see him play once, you always want him on your team. He just does everything right. Good job by Wade to deny Hinrich from getting the steal.
Bulls are giving up size, strength, and athleticism in the backcourt at both positions. 3 turnovers now on Shaquille O'Neal.
2 travels and a 3-second violation.
Even though he has caused the turnovers, that's better than seeing the foul as far as Pat Riley's concerned, because the MO for Shaq this year is to get in early foul trouble, and Riley's had to take him out. So he has gotten a good 6 minutes going here in the first quarter of play.
Great up and under fake.
And you spoke about the fouls with O'Neal, and there is the first one, whistled by Tony Brothers. On Shaq, who had his lowest point and rebound production this year, but there's a good reason. He had his lowest number of minutes. He only averaged 30.5 a game, of course, missing a significant number, 18 early on in the season.
Well, remember what Shaq told us yesterday is, you know, his role is not to be the dominant player all the time as he was in Los Angeles or in Orlando, as Sweetney drops that one, but to pick his spots, and that's what he's going to try to do in the playoffs.
What did Scott Skiles tell us? Withstand the onslaught early. They have done that. They've got Sweetney playing beautiful basketball as well as I've ever seen him play.
No foul as Wade and Hinrich went down. Walker twirling. He's missed all 8 shots so far. Nocioni can bring the Bulls to a tie or take the lead. Malik Allen square at 14. So Allen has opened 3 of 3. The Bulls as a team have opened 7 of 13. And Pat Riley will stop it here.
As Riley takes a timeout, he knows that these are not the same Chicago Bulls that opened with the Wizards a year ago and got hammered at home. He's got to tell these guys, hey, they came to play. We better pick it up.
Last 6 for Chicago. All tied early on.
Our workday never ends. I'm not saying our people don't go home or have lives, but ending our workday here doesn't stop our best thinking from moving forward someplace else.
Dynamic networking from AT&T enables collaboration around the world and the clock. So Allen's company is always ahead of market demands, schedules, and the competition. The new AT&T, your world delivered.
Take me right in the car, take me right in the car, take you right in the car. I want to go right in the car. Engine it goes, engine it goes. Turn my keys, step on the starter. I'm gonna run you home again. I'm gonna run you home again. I'm gonna run you home again. Take me right in the car.
And down to the floor is Dwayne Wade.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world, and Tomb Raider Legend, in stores now.
Early on, game one, all tied at 14. We mentioned limited production from Shaq this year relative to his career. He knows it's about that time in his life to do that.
You know, it'd be foolish for me as a 34-year-old to try to act like I'm 24. So I'm just like, you know, the big brother. I still try to play my game real consistently, but sometimes you gotta stand down, especially when you got a player like Dwayne. You know, a lot of people always want to, you know, compare him to the other guys, but it was different. Young Shaq and young Penny, young Shaq's always going to take over. Medium Shaq, young Kobe, medium Shaq's always going to take over. Older Shaq and younger Dwayne, I don't mind stepping aside of him because he's a very unselfish player and he looks for me.
O'Neal repeating to us yesterday his role with Dwayne Wade on this team in terms of who defers to whom, and you see his production there taking steps down. But that is part of Shaq the historian. He understands basketball and the perspective of it and knows that Kareem did that when he had Magic at the present. But in the playoffs, that's the guy who's going to take them if they're going to go all the way there.
This team, Miami, is one of three teams that has a realistic chance of winning the championship. And Shaq is one of only three active players to be a finals MVP. Never forget, though, that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was MVP of the finals at 38 years of age.
Wade hasn't taken a shot yet. His first one is made on a nice feed from Antoine Walker. So, Bill, have you dismissed Dallas's and Phoenix's chance of winning the title?
You win the championship by dominating the paint. Can Dallas and Phoenix do that? I want to see it on the court.
It sounds like a dismissal, Mike, because...
Malik Allen is 4 of 4. The Bulls have a terrific start, even with O'Neal controlling the paint. Wade over Hinrich, and Hinrich will be the first defensive assignment for Scott Skiles against Wade.
Well, Wade has to have a game as Michael Sweetney thought he got fouled. He got no call.
But that's two misses now in succession from the perimeter. Can Miami capitalize? Traveling violation.
Third travel on the Heat. Fourth turnover on Miami thus far.
What did Scott Skiles say? We've been playing pressure playoff basketball for the last month. We had to win those 12 of the last 14 games. The hottest team in basketball, the Chicago Bulls, they're getting a lot of open outside shots. Only one layup made here. And the Bulls, 7 of 8 field goals on jumpers from the perimeter.
Well, jump shots are their game. They're basically a perimeter team, and when they're making their shots, they're in the game. Sweetney is their best chance of getting scores inside as they come back to Sweetney.
Right at Shaq. O'Neal gets his 6th rebound. Miami back the other way.
And Scott Skiles says, what is a foul?
I would love to have the second one on O'Neal. Williams draws the foul on Sweetney, and that will be Michael's first foul. We get our first set of substitutions, and there's an interesting story coming in for each side. Gary Payton has to wait for the free throw shooter, Jason Williams, as he'll come in at the point guard spot. But Tyson Chandler is going to come in for the Bulls. He is their one bit of height, however, giving up significant weight to Shaq, and a history of foul trouble. Chandler has to be very careful as the games go on. Tomorrow on TNT, they'll begin their coverage of the playoffs with Indiana at New Jersey. One of the 3 games on TNT tomorrow. That's 1 Eastern. ABC will have the Lakers and Phoenix game 1 at 3 Eastern time in high definition. And NBA TV on Tuesday will have game 2 of that Pacers-Nets series from New Jersey. Payton is in now, and he gets Dwayne Wade.
Gary Payton now makes his postseason appearance for his 5th different NBA team. Only 5 other active players have done that as many times.
Yep. Gary with Seattle, Milwaukee, the Lakers, trying to find his way to get to that elusive NBA title in his 131st playoff appearance here today. Williams comes away with it. First Bulls turnover. They turn it right back to him. Nocioni got in the passing lane. Here is Andres.
Whoa, watch your face.
Payton steps in with Walker and Haslam. Antoine going the other way. Offensive foul drawn by Red Bull. By Nocioni.
Walker's saying and one, but they take it away. So early in the ball game, all the calls are going in favor of the Chicago Bulls as Nocioni moves over and Walker comes right through his chest. And he misses his first chance to score.
Style of violation, a traveling offense as well.
Gordon beat Payton. Got it over Shaq's outstretched arm.
Gordon not normally a strong attacker of the rim, as evidenced by the fact that he does not get to the free throw line nearly enough as he's capable of. Although he did have a 19 free throw make game this year against New Jersey.
Shaq had Tyson Chandler body hooked with his left arm, but Chandler, who has been called for the second most fouls in the NBA this year, picks up his first. 2.5 remaining, first quarter. It's his time. He's saved up for it. Shaq has 4 boards, 6 points in the early going.
And I isn't right.
Experiencing a breakthrough.
Let us observe my client after eating a spicy chicken burrito. I was full. And what were you full of? Great taste, fullness, and great taste from a value menu. I do believe I rest my case.
Taco Bell's Big Bell Value Menu featuring the spicy chicken burrito with shredded chicken simmered in Mexican spices to keep your stomach and your wallet full. Anything outside the bun.
Why live with athlete's foot? Cure the itch and burn of most athlete's foot with Lotrimin Ultra in just 1 week's use. New Lamisel's offense? 4 long weeks. But Lotrimin Ultra is so powerful, nothing cures faster. Lotrimin Ultra, the 1-week killer cure.
Nothing brings out the kid in you like the scrumptious combination of milk chocolate and Airy Krispies. Nestle Crunch, for the kid in you.
Back here in Miami, it is the Heat leading by 2. As has been mentioned throughout this week, this is an ESPN full circle broadcast of many different platforms of the company providing coverage over on ESPN2. Different angles, game being seen exclusively from those. John Saunders and the shoot-around crew, Scottie Pippen with them doing that. ESPN 360 with the broadbandcoverage.com, in-game fan polling, among other items. Speaking of full circle, from above the rim and everywhere else, it's been Shaq in the early going.
Shaquille O'Neal's ability to deliver the jump hook. They're forcing him to make shots as opposed to just dunking or layups. Shaq, amazingly, has not taken a free throw yet, and that is a terrific sign. Although Sweetney does have 1 foul, Tyson Chandler does have 1. That is a vast improvement from a week ago when literally the entire city of Chicago was in foul trouble in only 20 minutes of Shaquille O'Neal action.
Chris Duhon just came off the bench, and the captain of this team out of Duke in his second year picks up his first personal. Luol Deng has also come into the lineup, another second-year player out of Duke. Pat Riley brings James Posey off of his bench, the former starting small forward. Lost that job to Antoine Walker, but now he's in as a reserve.
Now remember last week, Dwayne Wade was in foul trouble, did not get much of a rhythm for the game, and sat out virtually the entire second half. I think that Wade is the key to Miami's success this evening. If Wade has a game, then they will put the the Bulls on their heels, and that means he's got to get to the free throw line.
How about the fact that Pat Riley, one of the most successful coaches in the history of all basketball, has not been successful in the playoffs with the Miami Heat by any stretch of the imagination.
Dang cutting Pete Posey and Luol Deng, who came in here on his 21st birthday last Sunday and was the star of the game for Chicago, makes it a 1-point Miami lead as we approach 2 minutes in the first.
Remember, Riley had all of his great success with Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, there ain't those guys out here.
Those guys are pretty good. As is this guy right here.
Shaq has hit all 4 field goal attempts. Heat by 3.
The more that Nocioni and Luol Deng handle the ball, the better chances the Bulls will have. Shaq is just dominating the defensive backboards. But can Miami turn it into transition opportunities?
But Miami is not a fast break team. They got a few guys that play in the open court, but they want to go into Shaq.
Gathers. Never got himself under control, and Nocioni rebounds it for the Bulls.
But he handled it 3 different times. The repost opportunity, tremendous. As Shaq sends it back again.
Leaning over Tyson Chandler to get to it. Payton on the push. Posey lost the handle. Wade saves him and threw it away. A lot of Miami turnovers in this first period. They have turned it over 7 times.
They're shooting over 60%. If they can get a shot up, it goes down. But the offensive fouls, the traveling violations.
Let's check in with Mark Jones. Jonesy?
Guys, always curious when it comes to Shaq's conditioning and his fitness level. Well, Pat Riley telling us before the game that he's weighing 325 pounds right now, in excellent shape, 12.5% body fat. Shaq tells me that the key to getting down to 325 was actually eating more, not less, but more as in eating more frequently. Trainer Ron Culp and strength and conditioning coach Bill Friend telling me he's got to eat at least 6 times per day to boost that metabolism, guys. That's the secret.
6 small meals as opposed to those 3 large ones. It's funny, Shaq was talking about the prepackaged food, or the planned food, I should say, that he was eating. And Dwayne Wade said, yeah, every once in a while he'd reach into a bag and take a McNugget from me. So
prepackaged food sounds like he's going on a backpacking trip here on Earth Day.
Wade had that left shoulder down, and Joe Crawford sends him the other way with the 8th turnover. An offensive foul on Wade.
Riley trying to keep him positive and optimistic, just overpowering, lowering that shoulder, learning from Shaquille O'Neal. Referees will have no part of it.
Duhon looks to be sliding a bit. Gordon, beautiful move by Ben Gordon. The one thing, as Steve alluded to before, Miami's perimeter defense has been a problem because of that lack of team speed. Chicago has the speed and the ability, so they may be able to stay in this series if they hit outside shots to keep that dribble alive.
Well, if they can keep attacking with Ben Gordon and Hinrich, they're in good shape. Posey.
3/4 of his attempts this year were 3s. Final shot of the period for the Bulls.
Been a tough year for Posey, injury-wise and productivity. If he can get it going, that'll be great for Miami.
Gordon over Michael Doliak. Write it down. Ben Gordon has 8. A heave by Posey at the end of the frame. Hits the top of the backboard, and that brings a very good first quarter to an end.
Now that was NBA playoff basketball.
It's the best quarter we've had this day, right? Shaq, impressive early. 4 of 5 from the field, 5 rebounds. Miami shooting 59%. The Bulls match him shooting 50%. After 1 in Miami, game 1 of the best of 7. The home team by 2.
Just when it looks like stuff is out of my reach, there's McDonald's Dollar Menu. Double cheeseburgers, fries, and more for just $1 each. Puts it all right back where it belongs.
Hello. Hold on. It's for you. Hey, we're up by 10. Later. Why do your friends keep calling my phone? Beats me. It's not because Singular has the fewest dropped calls, is it? Don't be ridiculous. Why do you even carry a phone?
Because it's shiny.
Tired of dropped calls? Switch to Singular. Singular's all-over network has the fewest dropped calls of any wireless network. The leading independent research company proved it.
Love you too.
Singular, raising the bar. Introducing the mid-size Nissan Frontier. Mid-size truck, full-size hardware, goodbye compact.
Southwest at 23 clicks per hour. Winds at 85 knots.
Doctors don't bite, do they, Daddy?
I used to have to beg to get my daughter to spend time with me.
I think I saw a mermaid down there.
We've made a lot of great memories since we got our Wave Runner. It's hard to believe. We've only had it for a week.
Yamaha 4-stroke Wave Runners. Unforgettable moments start at just $7,199.
You can't believe it. Rushing through your head, rushing through.
Back for the second quarter here in Miami. A very good quarter for Shaquille O'Neal. 4 of 5 from the field, 5 boards. Did turn it over 3 times and blocked a couple of shots. 26-24. Miami leads with Mark Jones, Steve Jones, Bill Walton, Mike Tirico. Here's our Nestle's Crunch stat track. The numbers from the first.
And with those field goal percentage numbers, both teams are playing very well. But Chicago is all from the perimeter. 13 of their 17 shots were jumpers. No free throw attempts at all for the Bulls.
They set the lineups for you as Chris Duhon drives. Tyson Chandler goes to the board. Duhon couldn't keep the possession alive. Lou Eldang, Kurt Hinrich on the floor for Chicago. Othello Harrington's the 5th. And Steve, it's Michael Doliak, Dwayne Wade, Gary Payton, Udonis Haslem, and James Posey for the Heat.
You've got to remember that the Bulls are a quick-hitting team, so they're not going to get to the free throw line a lot. They're either going to get the layup or they're going to make the jumper. This is the guy that they're trying to get going, and Wade made his first shot, missed his last 2.
Doliak on the putback. There were 3 Bulls surrounding Dwayne Wade as soon as he hit the spin cycle button.
The Bulls are the quicker team to make up for their lack of size and dominating inside presence. Corner, triple, Duhon. Chris Duhon, who started 38 games this year, then moved to the bench. Hinrich sliding over to the point. Ben Gordon coming in as the starter. And Chris Duhon can give you defense and a little bit of that three-point shot. Duhon, one of my favorite players in the league, now matched up head-to-head against one of the greats, Gary Payton. Keep an eye on that away from the ball.
Othello Harrington going to be whistled for this one.
Everyone takes a shot at Dwayne Wade. Whenever Wade has his hands on the ball, they're switching. They're trying to keep him out on the perimeter. They're trying to keep him guessing so he doesn't get into some offensive rhythm, and so far, it's been effective.
Many have asked, why does Wade score 12 a game against the Bulls in the regular season, and then his next worst against a team in the league is Atlanta? He scores 17 a game against them, so it is really a significant number. There he is with the jump shot off the curl. Wade now 2 of 4 from the field. Part of it is going back to Chicago, where 2 of the 3 games are played this year, and struggling trying to put on a show with the hometown folks. The other part is the aggressive Bulls defense. They don't let him in the middle. They deny him the scores in the paint. That's why he struggles. Harrington missed. Wade gets the Chandler tip.
Tyson Chandler has to make his presence felt. Tipping the ball will not get it done That just ignites fast breaks for Miami.
Antoine Walker, the Hoops, the lead 5, 2 minutes into the second. Duhan trying to get all the way. Hinrich contested and blocked by Wade. Peyton runs out. And Scott Skiles has to pull the plug here. Good run by the Heat, and the Bulls will take timeout.
The worst nightmare for Scott Skiles. Shaq goes to the bench. Wade still not playing well, but it's the role players. Doliak making it happen. Nice outlet over the top. Peyton is not going to get caught from behind. 6-0 run in less than a minute for the Miami Heat.
Isn't it about time for an upgrade? Take advantage of the Acura upgrade opportunity and experience satellite-linked voice-activated technology and special 2.9% APR financing.
That is ESPN. This is mobile ESPN. This isn't like sports on your current phone, okay? This is a whole new phone service from ESPN with unique features like the fastest alerts and the sideline and real-time play-by-play on Gamecasts. It's like getting into ESPN. Hey, Trey. Hey, buddy, did you get those headshots? I could just, cool? I'll just hit them up later.
You're going to have to.
I know.
Switch to mobile ESPN today. Call 1-800-GET-ESPN.
MLB Extra Innings from DirecTV. Over 1,600 games of Major League action. Thanks up to 60 games a week for a price you won't believe. We're talking every hit. Every catch. Every play. It's the most Major League Baseball you can get. MLB Extra Innings from DirecTV. To order, visit directtv.com or call 1-800-GET-SPORTS.
What if you could go to the biggest music event of the year? What if you could go there every week? All your favorite artists, all on one show, and it's only on DirecTV. CD USA, every Saturday on Channel 101.
Back here at the American Airlines Arena, Shaq, Haslam, Dwayne Wade, Miami starters doing the job. Heat lead by 7. The Chicago team made the playoffs last year, as you know, losing to Washington in 6. This is still a very inexperienced playoff team. Consider all 13 on the Bulls playoff roster have played 111 playoff games. Shaquille O'Neal by himself is making playoff appearance number 171, or 172 tonight, 171 coming in. Of the 111 guys, 17 are the man who's inactive, Randy Livingston. So really the Bulls who are eligible to play tonight have only played in 94 playoff games.
Bulls looking well right now, but this is much more of a team of the future. The Miami Heat, a team to win it right now. They are the third most experienced team in the playoffs after the world champion Spurs and the favorite this year, Detroit Pistons.
Well, what Walker and the Miami Heat have to understand is the Bulls are a very good team that's getting off the floor and playing from behind. So even though Miami has the lead now, they know that the Bulls are certainly capable of getting back in the game, so they've got to keep their intensity up.
Tyson Chandler stripped by Antoine Walker, who runs out. Here comes Wade in the open floor. Walker runs to the three-point line.
Walker's defense has been superb. Wade continues to struggle. He only has 4 points, but he does have 5 assists.
And that's what he can't do. He forced it. He never looked to make a pass. Hinrich is fouled on the other end. And I say that, Steve, because that's what they were talking about yesterday with Miami. Dwayne Wade, when he drives against Chicago, gets multiple players at him, he's got to learn to pull it back out and then get the ball back when they can't double him again.
Well, he has to do that, but on that possession, he was trying to draw the foul. He thought he got hit on the shot. They gave him the whistle. His arms went up, and that allowed Hinrich and company to get back and pick up a foul.
This is great news. Shaq coming right back in. 30 minutes a game he averages in the regular season. We asked Pat Riley about that. Pat Riley is going to play him however much he needs to win every single game right now.
O'Neal played 11 minutes in the first quarter. Those were the first free throws for the Bulls, who trail by 7. It's a Miami team that won the division. They won 10 in a row between mid-February and mid-March. A 9-game home win streak this year. Won 6 in a row on the road. Of course, the upheaval in the coaching spot as Peyton missed and O'Neal was fouled. Going up for the rebound, Stan Van Gundy was replaced by Pat Riley after Van Gundy stepped down in early December, and Riley, who was the president, had to fire up the coaching juices one more time. And even he said it was a while until he got back into the flow, but he knows the 94 by 50 pretty well.
But it's a different game now. The rule changes, a guard-dominated league.
Wayne's a miss. Nocioni the rebound for the Bulls. Wayne hits the deck, no foul, and Gordon a three.
The game is different in what sense? He coaches the same way, so it doesn't matter what the rule changes are.
He coaches differently now. This is a veteran team of guys who were different from the veterans that he had when he had Kareem, Worthy, Magic, McAdoo, Michael Thompson, all the legends in Los Angeles.
The help came from Deng and left Posey free. He continues to work his way back into the lineup. And the Bulls, after that Miami run, a couple of free throws, a 3 by Gordon, and a possession that can get him to 2 or 1.
But why, as soon as Shaq gets back in the game, they don't come immediately back to him is beyond me.
Hinrich for this, here's Posey.
Because you have to keep Shaq interested.
You think that he's disinterested because he doesn't get his hands on the ball?
The great Laker teams that had Rick Fox and Robert Horry and Derek Fisher feeding Shaq every time, they kept him lathered up.
Great body control by Nocioni. That would have been an easy foul for Nocioni. He went up a little bit easier, pulled his body back. The finger roll is a 7-0 run, and Miami calls for time. The baby Bulls, they've got a lot of what their coach has. Scott Skiles, intensity, toughness, and as Steve said, when they're down, they're coming right back up. Ben Gordon leading them with 11 thus far. 2-point game in the opener between the 2 and 7 seed.
Goldfish walks into a bar. The bartender says, "What can I get you?" The goldfish says, "Water."
Introducing the stunningly quiet Kia Optima. So quiet, it's not even funny. Right now, get a special introductory offer on the all-new Kia Optima.
Don't do sandwiches with 0 grams of taste. Do Wendy's new Frascata sandwiches, like the Frascata Club. Premium turkey, ham, bacon, and fresh veggies on freshly baked artisan bread. Do a new Frascata today. Anything less is just a sub sandwich. Do what tastes right.
Right now, when members of Best Western's Gold Crown Club International stay 6 nights at any Best Western, you'll earn a free night. And AAA Preferred Gold Crown Club International members earn a free night after staying only 5. Plus, earn a 10% bonus in reward points. Details at bestwestern.com/AAA.
What? You said we were going to be paying less.
I'm State Farm Agent Demetrius Simon, and this is a true story.
Making ends meet is tough with a new baby.
When another company kept promising to save us money on car insurance, we believed them.
Guess what? We were charged more.
A lot more.
We switched back to State Farm because we've got an agent we can count on.
Anybody can promise you a good price, but nobody takes care of you like State Farm. Call an agent today.
I think someone's had an accident. Oh.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
13,500 pregame layups. 2,700 postgame interviews.
How goes out and plays hard.
4,500 hours of practice. 305 slam dunks. All for the Chicago Bulls. To earn the right to keep on playing. The NBA playoffs now playing.
Now time for Gatorade Cooler Talk. 8 days ago when Ben Gordon couldn't be cooled off.
Gordon drains another 3. Gordon for the 3. Yes! Again. Ben Gordon. 9 of 9. Tying the record. Ben
Gordon makes it 103-101, and he has hit all 9 of his 3 balls here tonight.
Bill Walton, you were there with Brent Musburger at the United Center. A very important game against Washington in the run to get the Bulls in the playoffs, tying Latrell Sprewell, then a Knick, who did that to the Clippers 3 years ago.
Remarkable pressure performance. Drop step by Shaquille O'Neal. They are waving this off with an offensive foul. The left elbow hooking, and Shaq has another turnover, plus his second foul. Shaq's 4th turnover of the evening.
And Pat Riley had a nice long stare for Joe Crawford, who was back up at the other end.
It's the right call.
So 2 on O'Neal, and that'll be something to watch here the next couple of minutes. See if the Bulls can draw a 3rd on him. Hinrich trapped. This one's coming our way.
Mike Tirico with the quick defensive stab in the low post. Shaquille O'Neal looks middle. You keep 2 hands on the ball, and that never gets called as an offensive foul.
You didn't tell him that. In your coaching session with Shaq, you didn't tell him you got to keep 2 hands on the ball.
Steve, that was 16 years ago. I did tell him.
You did a poor job 16 years ago.
Malik Allen picks up the foul there. You might be wondering, why is Malik Allen defending O'Neal? Scott Skiles telling us Malik does a good job against him. Just kind of gets low, gets a good body on him. Strong guy.
Well, they're going to get Allen out of the ball game quickly, and Tyson Chandler back in.
But with 2 fouls, Malik Allen will go sit down. This guy is a terrific story. A very cerebral player out of the University of Villanova, Philadelphia guy, just absolutely a first-class team member. Offensive foul again.
Drawn by Nocioni. Andres Nocioni. Skiles made the comparison to Bill Laimbeer, part of the great bad boys of the Detroit Pistons in their championship run, 89 and 90. That Nocioni is one of those guys who you hate him until he's on your team, and then you love him because you want one of those kind of guys.
3 offensive fouls of Miami blocked away by Shaq. Can they ignite a fast break with it? But the resiliency of this Bulls team, totally impressive and completely emblematic and reflective of their coach, Scott Skiles.
You see 3, 4 red jerseys around Shaq. He drops that one in anyway.
Beautiful shot. And the guys doing the full circle broadcast on ESPN2 were pointing out where Shaq catches the ball. That time, just 1 foot on the edge of the paint.
I think Chicago's doing a fine job defensively on Shaq.
Ooh, gonna get a foul here down low.
Chandler getting the pushback as he was getting the push in the back. And a chance for the 3-point play for Tyson.
And who was that foul called on?
Haslam is second. O'Neal and Haslam each have 2. And here comes Chandler to the line.
Mike, we'll keep track of all the other fouls, and Bill can keep track of Shaq. He's confused when they go the other way.
I will make the point that Shaq's foul trouble is more significant than Udonis Haslam's.
More significant than most anything in this game. Jason Williams back off the bench. His numbers have gone up this year. Very steady and solid performance as Williams came over. Part of that huge trade that really changed this Miami roster. They got to the edge, the Eastern Finals last year, with a significant makeover of the supporting cast. Nocioni, another 3 for Andres Nocioni and the Bulls.
What the Bulls are trying to do is draw and kick. They're looking to penetrate with Gordon and Hinrich and pick it back out. And Nocioni and company, they have to make those shots, and they're up to it right here in the first half.
Chicago's mindset is, hey, we're going to run you guys all day long. You may have the rings, you may have the legends, you may have Shaquille O'Neal using his left hand on the drop step, but we've got the fresh legs, and we're not going to get tired. And as this 2-week series goes on, we're going to give you everything you've ever asked for.
Wade apiece. O'Neal the save. Here come the Heat with Williams at the line for 3. Haslam's hustle kept it alive. Gordon takes it away. The Bulls run now back behind the play. Joey Crawford has a technical, 2 technical fouls. Ejection of Udonis Haslam. Haslam ejected as Crawford behind the play, called 2 T's. Wow.
I am amazed that Joe Crawford called this during a Chicago fast break. Joe Crawford.
I think Joe was saying that he threw something at him. Let's check it out here. Hang on a second. I think he may have taken the gum out of his mouth and thrown it at Crawford. And the fans can boo all they want.
Fighting. He has his mouthpiece. He takes it and he throws it at the referee.
Not only should you be thrown out of the game for that, you should be suspended for the next game for that. And the fans are mad. I understand their anger. They didn't see that. But look at the Miami bench. They're not getting after Joe Crawford here. That is absolutely in the heat of the moment, but completely uncalled for.
And the reason they're not doing anything, they saw everything, and they are stunned and shocked, as am I. What is he thinking?
He's thinking he should have got the call. That's why you throw stuff to the referee. What do you mean, what is he thinking?
Have you ever, in your entire life, thrown something at a referee? Please, Steve.
But I'll give you your answer. This is a different time with a different energy.
Ron Rothstein, the assistant coach, just went over to tell Pat Riley exactly what happened. And there you see, and Joey was looking right back at him and right away gave him both technicals. So the ejection by Crawford of Haslam, who leads with 5 points, 7 rebounds. The Bulls with possession, trying to make it a one-point game.
That is totally and forever unacceptable. Shaq just roofing in.
Fourth block, O'Neal runs the floor. He'd love a touch right now.
Yeah, they have to know to get it to him.
Antoine Walker, and one.
Bill, you're always big on will, and what the Miami Heat have to do is will themselves in a position where they can get control of the game. Walker has to be part of that. Every time down, Shaq can't have the ball, and Walker has the ability to deliver and finish. They need Walker to get more of those opportunities and a chance for a three-point play.
But the ejection and seemingly future suspension of...
Maybe.
Come on, you can't throw things at the referee.
I would if it was my decision, but I'm just saying maybe. Let's not guarantee it.
Yeah, but Alonzo Mourning's out not playing, so you're shorthanded for big guys up front. This is just inexplicable behavior.
What a rebound by Sweetney, who went up to get it. Fans wanted to walk on Gordon. That left foot was down. Antoine Walker dives, saves it. Miami has been energized. Wade was fouled. Hinrich was holding him as the pass was airborne.
You know, the white glare from all of these shirts has really brightened up the place, but it's also brightened up the energy of players like Antoine Walker. When was the last time you saw him go on the floor? But Joey Crawford wasted no time, and without hesitation, making the right call and sending Udonis Haslam to the locker room.
Of course, Joe's dad, Shag Crawford, the great Major League Baseball umpire, and brother Jerry, that was a Major League Baseball toss out there. You were gone.
You cannot have a league of professional basketball where the players are allowed to throw something at the official who doesn't make a call.
And the call, and Joe Crawford made the right call on the ejection. So what should have happened, and now, outside of the emotion of the moment, the league office, Stu Jackson and company will review it, hear the reports. There is Alonzo Mourning, who tore a calf muscle back 18 games ago, is out for this game, says he is not out for the series.
Well, you know, I was standing in the grocery line, and I read where Mike Tirico and Bill Walton said, he's got to go!
5-on-2 for the Bulls. It's Walker to Wade to Shaq. Skiles probably needs another timeout since the double technical 7-0 run. Miami.
Shaquille O'Neal responding magnificently with the class and pride of a champion. Not sure what Udonis Haslam is doing here as he gets ejected, but Shaq 14.6 rebounds and 5 blocks.
It's late. You're hungry. You're not Karen. It's time for fourth meal. The late night meal between dinner and breakfast. Heard of the pyramid? Check out the square. All the tastes at a delicious fourth meal. Melty, crunchy, spicy, and grilled. The tastes are exciting. Only Taco Bell's got them. Everyone's a fourth mealer. How you doing?
Some just don't know it yet.
If it's not fourth meal, it's just food.
So you like hang with the surfers here at the beach a lot?
Yes, I pinch.
Yeah, I'm always down here too. Weekends. I don't mind telling you a few sick days.
I pinch.
It's cool. I carry their boards. They change inside me.
I want to pinch.
Hey, not so close. I don't want to get pinched.
Why no pinch?
Because it hurts.
Maybe little pinch?
You know, I've got some melted butter and some tongs in here, so...
No pinch, no pinch, no pinch.
I told you to come alone. I did. And who were they? Oh, that's my network. In case I should have to call someone. Really? You get service out here? That's amazing, because I'm always doing business out here, and I gotta tell you, it's a crapshoot. You guys work down by the docks?
Your wireless network makes all the difference. So switch your family to America's most reliable. Buy any phone and get up to 3 LG camera phones free. Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
Okay, what's with the phone? You had that out all night.
Oh, it's not just a phone. It takes photos with this little camera, and it also records little video clips.
A very active Shaquille O'Neal leading an energized Miami team after the ejection of Udonis Haslem. Heat by 10, second quarter, 2:51 to go. O'Neal on the bench for the moment.
The one thing that Shaq has been able to do is they pushed him out of the paint, but he has still been an effective scorer. So they have really done everything that they could, and it shows you that a great offensive force can still do big damage.
This is Shaq at his finest. Shot 60% from the field this year, second consecutive time he's done that. And he won his 7th NBA field goal percentage title. Wilt Chamberlain still the all-time leader with 9.
O'Neal has 5 blocks. His playoff career best is 8, doing it 3 times, including against San Antonio the last time he did. The Bulls get back on the board with Luol Deng. It's an 8-point game, 2.5 to go.
Deng has got to find some way to get going here. He has been an absolute non-factor.
He only played 5 minutes. Let him get some time on the floor before you say he's got to get himself going. 2 shots in 5 minutes. Deng is a very aggressive offensive player. And Scott Skiles recognizes he needs offense right now.
If he was playing better, he'd play more.
There's Scott on the bench out of Plymouth, Indiana. Won a state championship as a high school player in Indiana. When you can say that in basketball, that's a good deal. Nobody in NBA history has more assists in one game than Scott Skiles. He had 30 as a member of the Orlando Magic.
And it was the decision of general manager John Paxson to go after Scott Skiles after he'd been out of basketball that has really got this franchise back into the major league picture.
Oh, tough shot by Gordon. Rolled around the rim. Miami's really pushing it after some of these boards. Antoine Walker has made some poor decisions. Dwayne Wade cleans that one up. To the corner. Jason Williams. Goliak. Michael Goliak getting the minutes that would be Alonzo Mourning's. And in the last week of meaningless games, Goliak stepped up his play and has been very good. Dang a 3. Beautiful Nocioni.
Nocioni is everywhere.
The Red Bull, and it's appropriately named so.
They're all
that one there.
Steve, they're all Red Bull.
No, they don't play with the same kind of intensity.
Wade gathers 3 Bulls. He's fouled.
I think Riley is managing Shaquille O'Neal's minutes magnificently. He is upset Riley with the hard foul that sent Dwayne Wade to the deck.
You know, Nocioni plays one way, and that's full throttle all the time. And so if you get a ball and you got a chance to put it back up, you can expect that he's going to hammer you. He pats him on the rump and says, you know, I didn't really mean it, but you're not going to get a cheap shot on me. That's all there's to it.
Got a lot of ball on that play.
He got a lot of ball head.
There is a history between these two. Last year, Nocioni took down Wade hard in the game. Udonis Haslem responded by ushering Nocioni to the first row of seats. So that will not be the last hard foul committed in this series, and probably not the last hard foul by Nocioni.
If you're Andre Nocioni or any of the Chicago Bulls, as Andre goes to the bench, you don't want these fans here cheering for you and loving you. You want them to boo you. You want to have fouls.
No
7 rebounds and 9 points already.
Noach has 2 fouls. Eric Piatkowski checks in his place. Piatkowski, 12th year out of Nebraska, missed a significant part of the season with a left foot injury and a concussion in the last couple of weeks of the season that was suffered in practice.
Let me give Bill this bulletin as Piatkowski strikes for 3. That's why they have only 6 fouls. So, you know, they need to keep Nocioni around. He just can't, you know, willfully knock people down and think that he's going to have an impact on the game.
Wade driving and one. Dwayne Wade is right at the top of the league of the and one. Maybe that hard foul got Dwayne Wade's motor running.
Well, remember what Dwayne Wade told us, you know, when he played in Chicago and he was a baby and Scotty Skiles was coming out there. He was like in high school. He was taking those hard fouls, and he said you had to be a man to play out at Lakeside.
Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
And right by Lake Michigan where Dwayne Wade grew up. He's from Oak Lawn on the south side of Chicago. Richards High School. Grew up loving the Jordan-era Bulls. That's one of the reasons many feel he has struggled so much in his games in Chicago. 12 points, 7 assists in the first half.
Dwayne Wade can see his family in the summertime. Nice over the top. Can Walker finish?
Yes, sir. What a good second quarter it has been for the Miami Heat. Wade has 8 assists against the best field goal percentage defense in the league. Miami shooting 62%. Goliak a hard foul on Gordon, who was driving. Free throws coming.
Antoine Walker is a former lead player who has subjugated his game and his ego to be a part of a special team. And his job defensively, his job on the boards, his job in transition and setting up Shaq. And the best thing for Miami and Antoine right now is that they've played some of their best ball while Shaq has been on the bench. Shaq has given them a little bit of separation. The rest of the guys come in when Shaq is resting while Chicago exhales, and all of a sudden it blows open.
One more free throw coming for Gordon. Born in London, England. Came to the U.S. very early. High school in Mount Vernon, New York. 3 years at Connecticut playing for Jim Calhoun, including part of the 2004 National Championship team. Last year, Rookie of the Year and 6th Man of the Year at the same time. Never happened in NBA history. This year, 40th in the league in scoring at 17 per. He leads the Bulls with 13 here. Wade serpentine through the lane. Too tall a pitch for Williams, and an offensive foul called on the pass.
Wade, momentum carried him right into the defense of the Bulls, and they have been calling that foul consistently here in the first half, and the white-shirted Heat are going to have to make the adjustment.
But the turnovers for Miami, literally the thing that's kept Chicago in this game. Can they do anything here with 2 possessions to get some sort of momentum and confidence back for the second half?
Oh, the speed of Gordon split the double at the top. 61-51. Very high scoring first half.
The Heat would like to hold this lead at double digits, and so they're going to use some clock, 5-second differential between clock and game, and then they're going to look for Antoine Walker with the screen.
Payton, lane opens for him over the outstretched arms of Piatkowski.
Payton still more than capable of being the single best player in any game that he plays in.
Gordon, with the clock running down, takes it. And that'll bring us to the end of the first half. Very entertaining half. Miami shooting 63% from the field. Jason Williams of the Heat at 12 points, and he's with Mark Jones. Mark?
Jason, 12 points in the first half. You punished them by going inside to Shaq in the first half. What kind of adjustment do you expect them to make in the second half?
I don't know. Maybe they'll start doubling a little bit. If they don't double Shaq, I don't see how they're going to win.
You go back as far as anyone with Udonis Haslem going all the way back to Florida days. What do you make of what happened, him getting ejected from the game?
I don't know. I didn't see what happened, but Joey said he threw something at him. I don't know.
How does that affect you in the second half without him?
We just got to have a guy step up and play hard.
All right, Jason, thanks for joining us. Thank you.
John, thank you. Jason Williams returning to the starting lineup after that knee tendonitis and doing a good job in the first half. Toyota halftime show's coming up. The dominant performance by the Spurs against Sacramento, the historic performance by LeBron James in his playoff debut, and a preview of Game 4 today, the Nuggets and Clippers, which comes up after us. Nighttime in Miami, anything but calm and tranquil inside the American Airlines Arena. Lots of threes, lots of hard fouls and ejection. The playoffs, it's on. It's Miami by a dozen.
Ferocious, small, dominator. The fifth, new from Honda. The fifth is go.
You all right? Yeah, just an old football injury. Tore my rotator cuff against the Giants in '88. Yeah, got to play hurt though, right? Oh, absolutely. Actually, I burnt my tongue on some lentil soup last night. It really hurts. Be okay to do the show? Oh, yeah. I'll suck it up.
What makes them different makes them great. Mike and Mike in the Morning on ESPN Radio and ESPN.
First, it was David versus Goliath, then Ali versus Frazier, and now comes the mother of all battles. Ed versus Spencer. Which roommate can make the best porn, gain the most weight, and who's toughest? Bring it on. With a new challenge every week. It's Ed versus Spencer, Thursdays at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, only on BBC America. May the best friend win.
Welcome to the Toyota Halftime Show.
Shaquille O'Neal off to a great start in the first half, and a big reason why the Diesel squad are up 63-51. John Saunders, Tim Legler, Greg Anthony, and Scottie Pippen right here. And, you know, when I think of the most special or the most intriguing look at a mouthpiece, I always remember Buster Douglas knocking the mouthpiece out of Mike Tyson and him trying to pick it up. Well, this may be the second.
Well,
this may be number two.
A mouthpiece could play a pivotal part in this game because Adonis Haslam, it's inexcusable, really, what you did. Your team is already shorthanded. You don't have Alonzo Mourning, so your front line is thin. And this is Joey Crawford. This isn't some rookie official. This is Joey Crawford. You're throwing your mouthpiece at. That's you're obviously ejected from the game. And Greg said maybe possibly even a suspension. When you throw something at an official, that absolutely opens the ground for that discussion to take place. Whether it happens, I don't know. But this is a guy that's critical to your team right now without Alonzo Mourning because he's your best rebounder you have on the floor. He's already off to a great start. He's gone absolutely inexcusable.
And you know what, mental stability. That's what the playoffs are about, adversity and dealing with it. This is a first game. You can't be doing that. But the most important thing, though, Shaquille O'Neal looks like he's about 28 years old right now. It does help to go up against Chicago Bulls, but he's done a great job in terms of being able to score. I've been most impressed with his ability to score from out of the paint. You know when he gets it right down low, he's going to be able to score. And Scotty made a great point. When he gets it down low, put him on the free throw line. The fact Shaquille O'Neal, I think, only took 2 free throw attempts in the game does not bode well for the Chicago Bulls. And Scotty, when you look at the Miami Heat, though, you expect Shaq to do what he's doing, but it's role players that have to fill out the rest of it.
It has. I mean, Jay Williams came out, had a great start, and then you talk about Antoine Walker came off and gave him a good lift. Gary Payton, I mean, these are veteran players. They know about the playoffs. They know what their performance is and what their role is now. And when these guys are able to play well coming off the bench, the Miami Heat can be the best out there.
All right, so that's the first half look at the Miami Heat and the Chicago Bulls. Miami with the lead, but earlier today, the very first game for LeBron James in the playoffs, and you had to look forward and wonder exactly how it would come out. LeBron looked relaxed, although he missed his first shot. It was an air ball. Said he was a little bit nervous. After that, all he did was put up a triple-double.
Well, it's a recurring theme here. You're going to see, you just see LeBron James really in a comfort zone. He just is able to go where he wants. He controlled the entire game, whether it was be in the middle of the floor through ISO situation. They got him down in the low post more often today. He found guys made plays. Really, LeBron James just destroyed the Wizards.
And it's also a recurring thing when you look at the Wizards, the fact that when they need an opportunity to make a stop, they have been reluctant to do so, and that's going to have to change if they want to win. All right, when we come back, we will look out west where the defending champion San Antonio Spurs made a big statement in Game 1.
The Toyota Halftime Show is brought to you by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward.
At what point does a car become more than just glass, rubber, and steel? When does it become something you love? When does it become part of your family? At what point does a car become more than just a car? Introducing the all-new Toyota Camry for 2007. It's time to move forward.
New Cheez-It Crisps. So much real cheese baked right in, yet so small, light, and crispy. People are wondering,
how does Cheez-It do it?
Well, they had 2 trucks. Chris!
New Cheez-It Crisps. Big cheese that's bite-sized, crispy, and light. Get your own bag.
A cool head. And a new copier. $2,500.
Dinosaur.
Dedication.
And a coffee maker. $69.
A sense of humor.
And a mop. $17. Having what it takes to run a business? Priceless. To see what the MasterCard business card can do for your business, visit our website.
At AOL, we believe everyone should be fast. That's why we're making it simple for our members to upgrade from dial-up to true broadband. To get AOL high-speed for as low as $25.90 a month, sign up now at AOL.com/highspeed. Want a better high-speed internet? You belong at AOL.
Here it is, the NBA Finals. With all them big-time ballers up here, while the rest of us, we out here trying to make our names go nationwide. It's going to be tight to check out the streets of L.A., enter the top tournaments in one-on-one or two-on-two action, and get myself noticed by the right people. Once they see my skills, I'm going to be the #1 draft pick of the NBA. NBA Ballers. Phenom. Rated E for everyone.
The NBA playoffs on NBA.com. Exclusive photos. Broadband video highlights. Blogs, podcasts, and chats. Live stats, player profiles, and expert analysis. Complete playoff coverage 24/7 on NBA.com or AOL.com/NBA.
Welcome back to the Toyota Halftime Show.
All right, guys, earlier tonight on ESPN, Ron Artest, who has predicted that Sacramento's going to win it all, well, he takes an elbow from Ginobili. He may have made it look a little worse than it was, but guys, this was not even a game.
Well, if the Spurs are vulnerable, man, I hate to see if they play well, because they came out today and they just stepped right on the throat of the Sacramento Kings.
I would say it's one of the best first halves in a playoff game I probably have ever witnessed. San Antonio looks really unbeatable.
122 to 88. Time now for Toyota moving forward.
Carmelo, what is the mood of the team here as you guys begin your run here in the playoffs? You had so many injuries and lost 4 straight games at the end of the season. What's the mood right now?
Well, I think everybody just need to, we just need to settle down. Going into this game, we got to have a lot of confidence, regardless of how we ended up the regular season.
The injuries to Boykins and Martin, what is their status?
Oh, they're pretty good. In practice, we had 2 great practices, yesterday and the day before yesterday. So we're just going to see how it all turns out.
The Clippers kind of said they wanted you. In fact, that's what they did want, because the games kind of stacked up in that way, and they made sure that you were their opponent. George Karl told us that he was going to talk to you about that and have some choice words. What did he say?
Well, no, he haven't told us anything yet. At this point, we just got to go out there and, we put our uniform and sneakers on just like they do.
Well, how do you feel about that? They wanted you, now they got you.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a challenge for me, it's a challenge for my teammates, and we're going to go out there, and play basketball.
Carmelo, final thought. Is the team dependent upon you? Are you going to have to play great every night to win this series?
Well, I got to make them better. I think that's the most important thing in this series, is, making my teammates better, and gaining confidence in them.
Carmelo, thank you. Good luck this evening.
Thanks.
All right. Back to you, John Saunders.
All right, Jim Gray, that's Toyota moving forward. And, guys, one of the things that I've been impressed with, I remember coming back from the Olympics, Carmelo Anthony told me he had lost his confidence there. He's definitely got it back.
He definitely has. But now the focus is going to change. It's a bigger spotlight. It's the first time Carmelo Anthony's been in a position where the expectations are so much greater on him to carry this team in the postseason.
I think this series is going to be very, very interesting. Very interesting.
I think it's going to be a great series, but I do think the Elgin brand is the X factor. In terms of the Clippers, I don't think they're that durable, but I love brand.
Scotty and I agree for once tonight.
Give me that word again.
Interesting.
I like that. I love that word. Dwayne Wade. We haven't seen much of this in the game. We'll see what happens in the second half. 63-51, Heat on top.
The Toyota Halftime Show is brought to you by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward.
Hey guys, we're here.
Forerunner, expanding your universe. Toyota, moving forward.
Stubborn warts? Why wait for a doctor when you can do the same treatment at home? Introducing Dr. Scholl's Dual Action Freeze Away. It's twice as effective as freezing alone. It combines freeze technology and a maximum strength liquid. To remove large warts, see the doctor. Dr. Scholl's.
ESPN and Paramount are bringing fans the impossible. X Games gold medalist Mike Metzger will attempt a backflip over the fountains at Caesars Palace, live May 4th at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. For more of the impossible, don't miss Mission Impossible 3 in theaters May 5th.
At DuPont, we've tested and tested to find the best way to protect your car's finish inside and out. The result? DuPont Car Care products, the only ones with Teflon to form a non-stick protective barrier, so dirt and mud have a hard time sticking. Now visit us online for great deals on DuPont Car Care products.
With McDonald's Dollar Menu, Adios Kitchen, hello extra cash, and bring on the good food.
What's he doing here? Beats me.
Can I help you, sir?
I'm looking for our security.
Yes, sir. Our security is in the network, sir.
This blinky thing is our security?
The security thing is everywhere. The network is, sir.
Let me get this straight. The security is in the blinky thing, and it's in the doohickey next to the blinky thing? This is technical jargon, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Security, powered by Cisco.
And we are here courtside with Vince Carter. Vince, you were amazing out there.
And that's why we don't feed the dog people food. Hey, Uncle Carl. Hey, Ma, how you doing? All refrigerators make a little noise. How about some avocado? We can make guacamole. Cook it medium heat. Don't put it on the phone. No, don't put it. Hey, Grandma.
With T-Mobile, families talk free. Share 700 whenever minutes. Just $59.99.
The dog, yeah, he's bulimic.
T-Mobile, official wireless partner of families and the NBA.
Now, it's time for the McDonald's I'm Lovin' It highlights. McDonald's I'm Lovin' It highlights.
And that gets us to the second half, 63-51. Here in Game 1 of the 2006 Eastern Conference Opening Round Series between the 7-seed Chicago Bulls, 2-seed Miami Heat, Mike Tirico, Bill Walton, Steve Snapper Jones, Mark Jones in the second. Guys, as we go through the Chevrolet game track, the first half, a story of a good start by the Bulls, but Shaquille O'Neal's continued dominance in the paint. Shaq, as Pat Riley told us, was going to be fed the ball often, and he performed very well. 14, 6, and 5 in that first half. Meantime, Ben Gordon leading the Bulls with 15. He was the only Chicago player in double figures. 3 Miami players in double figures. And maybe the big story, the Heat, against the best field goal percentage defense in the league, shot 63%.
They beat the Bulls in head-to-head field goal percentage by 20 percentage points. Pat Riley challenging his Heat to come out with the effort. They've done that, plus 10 on the boards, plus 13 on the fast break points, and 5 offensive rebounds. Another turnover for Chicago.
Well, where the Miami Heat really made some big business was in that second quarter in transition. They got a lot of cheap points. When they were forced to set up in the first quarter, the Bulls had a chance to stay in the ball game as Dwayne Wade misses his first opportunity of the second half.
Dwayne is 3 of 8 from the field. Kirk Hinrich uses a screen by Malik Allen. He missed it. Shaq, the home run pass. Too far. And another turnover for O'Neal. Shaq had 4 of those in the first half. With the ejection of Udonis Haslem, James Posey joins Antoine Walker with O'Neal, Dwayne Wade, and Jason Williams. The same 5 that started the game for the Bulls start the third quarter.
So even less size in support of Shaquille O'Neal. Antoine Walker will have to change his game significantly.
Dwayne Wade, hand up, does not deter Ben Gordon, who has 18 points. Gordon is only 6'3", as listed. As listed.
I'm listed at 6'11".
But you're 7 feet. You grew. He did.
6'11". Last time I was measured, I was 6'11".
Here is Walker for a straightaway 3. Allen gets the rebound.
You've got to feed Shaq.
Oh. Hinrich tripped up by James Posey, so Posey will pick up his first personal foul.
Shaq grabbing all the defensive rebounds, blocking all the shots. When he gets in a set offensive situation, give him the ball with 12 or 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Good things will happen.
Hinrich, nice diagonal feed to Allen. Better blocked by Walker, but Sweetney kept it alive.
Sweetney now 2 for 7 in the game, but belying the fact that he's actually played pretty darn well.
Well, the one thing that we know about the Bulls in that first half when they got down, they can get back in the game. And it's really up to Shaq and company to take that will away here early in the third quarter. If the Bulls think they have a chance, they will continue to counter, and they will find a way to finally get Kirk Hinrich involved in this game offensively.
O'Neal is 8 of 9 from the field, 16 points. 10 to shoot. Sweetney went glass earlier, got Shaq in the air that time. To Allen and 1. drawing the second foul on James Posey.
The key for the Bulls is patience at the offensive end and make the right read. With a pump fake, Sweetney finds the right guy, and Allen gives him a three-point opportunity.
And while we have a second with Allen at the line, let's check in with Mark Jones.
Guys, I spoke with Scott Skiles, the coach of the Bulls, at halftime. He said defensively they have to do a better job in transition, where they gave up 11 field goals. That was the point of contention inside the locker room, that and getting a better handle on Shaquille in the middle. Offensively, he says, hey, we just can't drive it in Shaq and keep letting him block our shots. We're at our best when we're driving and kicking. Guys, back to you.
Wade was driving there, Mark, and the foul is on Andres Nocioni. That is his third personal.
You will never beat a Shaquille O'Neal team unless you attack him on the defensive end. Take the ball at him, hand it back to somebody who will be wide open.
Walker just ran into a whole bunch of Bulls.
Numbers for the Bulls.
Nocioni a 2.
This guy can play.
I'm a huge fan.
On any team. They keep coming back. As Riley has told us, this Chicago team is the hardest playing team in the entire NBA. What spirit, what heart.
Well, this is a carryover from last year, but I think what's better for them is the fact that they had so little success in the playoffs a year ago. Shaq misses that one, they get him a whistle.
Sweetney fouled him on the arm.
We can only hope that he was fouled on the arm. Because that was a 5-foot jumper that hit the far side of the board.
So Shaq will come to the line where he struggled this year as much as any year, really, guys. 47% for O'Neal. He has always said when they matter most, he will make them.
What else could he say? And if you play enough games, that eventually comes into play.
The offensive rebound comes Shaq's way. He leans in. I don't see a foul there. But the referees obviously had a much better position and angle. He also said, Steve, that I don't make free throws, which is just an indication that I'm not perfect.
We had a nice visit with O'Neal yesterday. Really enjoying this time in his career as a veteran where he doesn't do it just on sheer ability. Gordon has a free opportunity in the second one because Dwayne Wade was leaking out after the first miss. The Bulls, who were down by a dozen at the break, are down by 4, just 3:15 into this third quarter.
And Shaq has yet to touch the ball in the set offense.
Ben Gordon has 20 in the ball game, and he is the guy that's keeping Chicago close.
He knows he has to be the scorer for this team. Wade picked his pocket, runs right. Walker fouled on the pass by Malik Allen.
Very smart foul, as we always see intelligent play from Malik Allen. A wonderful pickup for Paxson and Skiles here in Chicago. A guy who can fit in. Now, the front court, eventually, once the Bulls become a great team instead of just a good team and a playoff contender instead of just qualifying 2 straight years, the front court will be upgraded.
Posey hits a 3. James Posey shot it at 40% this year, 22nd in the league. Obviously, your outside shooting, if you have ability, will improve. If you're on a team with O'Neal, all that paint attention. Hinrich, actually getting his shot to go, and the rebound comes right to Shaq. Hinrich is 1 of 7 from the field tonight. Walker on his tippy toes. Can't hit the triple.
And they have yet to dump it into Shaq on a set offensive play, and we're nearly halfway through the third quarter.
Deflection by Posey, comes to the backcourt. Nocioni has a double-double now, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Nice blow by Hinrich. Awful layup by Sweetney twice. What a try for Nocioni. Sweetney couldn't control it. Tough trip for the Bulls.
Tough trip for Sweetney because he rushed the shot both times. He never had control of the ball, and he was trying to quick it so Shaq couldn't get back to him. Missed it there, missed it again.
That's the presence of Shaquille O'Neal.
Michael Sweetney, the 9th pick by the Knicks in the draft in 2003. 2 of 9 from the field in this game 1. Wade over the outstretched arm of Hinrich.
Now that's all Dwayne Wade has to do. Pick his spot and rise up over Kirk Hinrich, and he can bury the deuce.
And they're on the Chicago bench. They're trying to lift the spirits of Michael Sweetney. They've got to stay very close here.
Timeout for the Bulls. Wade has 14, 4 of 10 shooting in game 1.
Introducing the all-new 2007 Chevy Tahoe with available features like a power remote liftgate, power release fold and tumble second row seats, and rear view camera system. Chevy Tahoe, an American revolution.
We all know how the story goes. Cinderella is supposed to be home by midnight. Girls aren't supposed to play with boys. And lightning's not supposed to strike twice. Small's not supposed to beat big. Those who are down aren't supposed to rise up. And curses, they're not supposed to be broken. But if it all went down like it's supposed to, why would anybody play?
And though my family would leave Walton's Mountain, we still remain close. Good night, Mary Ellen.
Good night, Jason.
Good night, Jim Bob. Good night, Aaron.
Good night, Elizabeth. Good night, Tomboy.
Thanks to Singular's new push-to-talk, with one push of a button you can see who's available and who isn't. And then on one call, your whole family can get together. Now buy one phone and get a second one free. Push-to-talk from Singular, raising the bar.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Chevrolet, an American revolution.
Miami over Chicago, 71-62, 7 minutes left in the third. We talked with Dwayne Wade about having Pat Riley back as his head coach.
One thing I can say about Coach Riley from the first day I got here, after I got drafted to now, is he's pretty much the same. You know, he haven't changed much. He's still that guy that just got this aura about him, this confident swagger, this confident walk, but he knows what he's talking about. He's been there, and nothing changes. Nothing really changes, and that's good, you know, because you know what to expect out of a coach, you know, especially when things going bad. You know, he'd be so calm, and it just helps you sometimes settle down.
You see Pat Riley, who has coached more playoff games than anyone in NBA history, 20 behind Phil Jackson, who will start his next playoff run with the Lakers against Phoenix on ABC tomorrow afternoon at 3 Eastern. Out of bounds off the leg of Allen. Good defense by Antoine Walker. Guy's story in the Boston Herald on Thursday. A little note that Pat Riley might sell 10% ownership, which is his stake in the ownership of this Miami Heat team, and resign as the head coach and just be the president. Well, that was denied strongly by the Heat to the point that they put out a press release earlier this week, Riley saying that not only will he still be here, as Williams missed the three, but he will return as head coach next season. There have been varying smoke signals about that during the year. Gordon hits another three. Ben leads everybody with 23 points.
What Ben Gordon is doing right now is keeping Chicago close, keeping them in the ball game and waiting for the rest of the Bulls to arrive. As Hinrich has only made one field goal here in this ball game.
There will be endless speculation as Shaquille O'Neal finally, a first touch with 6 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the third quarter, gets it in the low block. But the injuries this year to this team that have kept the Miami Heat from only having their players for 27 games, their top 8 players, and never longer than 7 games in a row have really disrupted this Miami Heat season, which was supposed to be so special.
Riley trying to add another championship. Alonzo Mourning will be back in this series, he said. Remember, with that calf injury, because of the kidney transplant that he received 2.5 years ago now, he cannot take anti-inflammatories, so he really has to fully let it heal. other players could take some anti-inflammatories and perhaps be back a little bit quicker. Hinrich finally gets going from the outside, knocks down that three, and the Bulls are doing the complete hang around here. They are within 5:50 in the third.
Well, this is what the Bulls do. They compete. They stay involved in it. So, you know, Jason Williams and company have to keep scoring the ball, and they have to take the will of the Bulls away.
Mike, you talk about those anti-inflammatories.
Back-to-back triples for Hinrich.
After just finishing Game of Shadows, Alonzo Mourning and everybody else is wise to stay away from all of those things.
That's the book related to Barry Bonds, who did Homer, I saw earlier today. Finally. SportsCenter will have the complete day in sports after the Clippers-Nuggets, our fourth playoff game on ABC and ESPN opening night. Good defense by Chandler against Shaq. His second miss. Hinrich turns it over. Carries it.
This is what James Posey and Hinrich. Hinrich does not want to give the ball up. But one of the things that Pat Riley has complained about with the rules, he says that everybody just carries the ball all the time, and he wishes the referees would just enforce the rule as it is. You got to keep your hand on top of it, push the ball down.
That's not the rule anymore. They allow the players to get their hand on the side of the ball. As long as you don't hold it, you can get away with it. Wade.
Oh, shot. Offensive foul. Leaning on Tyson Chandler. And he gets the call there. O'Neal and Chandler very familiar with each other as Shaq picks up his third personal foul.
And in response to you, Steve, about the rules, as Shaquille O'Neal battles with Tyson Chandler, just overpowers him, smothers him. As Wilt always said, now they changed the rules to make it easier for the players. And when Wilt played, they made all the rule changes to make it harder for him to dominate.
Antoine Walker's been good defensively. A lot of deflections on the charts of this game. Luol Deng, that long arm, couldn't squeeze the rebound, but a foul is called inside. It will be on Chicago, on Miami. And the guy. Posey, 42, not 32. Hey, there's a Shaq story with Chandler. They're going head-to-head, and Mark Jones can tell us about that.
Yeah, the two of them met, guys, when Tyson Chandler was a 13-year-old coming up playing high school basketball in Los Angeles. Chandler met him in the Laker locker room after a game, and he was so overwhelmed by O'Neal's very presence that when Shaq asked him, hey, how tall are you? Chandler says, Mark, I totally locked up, but later, when he became a rookie in his first year in the NBA, went into the Laker locker room to thank Shaq for being so inspirational and so motivational throughout his young career, and he's made a big impression upon Tyson Chandler, guys. Back to you.
Chandler, who did come right out of high school, as you mentioned, Dang with the misses there at the line. Won 2 California state titles playing with Tayshaun Prince. He and Eddie Curry were to be the future of the Bulls. They were going to build around those guys. Curry, after the heart problem, missing the late part of last year, traded to the Knicks in the offseason for a #1 draft pick as the three is hit by Posey. And that #1 pick is going to be a top 5 pick because the Knicks can have no worse than the 5th overall pick out of the draft lottery. So the questions to John Paxson, the Vice President of Basketball Operations, about that trade. The trade looks pretty good right now.
But the scouts are all saying that this year's draft does not have the dominant players. It's next year's draft that they're anticipating that they're going to have the real franchise-level players.
But the Bulls are going to have 2 1s and cap room, so they have a lot of off-season maneuverability available. O'Neal on Chandler. And away from the ball, we have a defensive 3 seconds, and that's a technical foul. You know, Paxson and the Bulls had an interesting week or so during the summer. Remember, Scott Skiles was offered a contract, and he was kind of, I guess, annoyed that he was in some way disrespected by the contract offer he felt. And then 24 hours later, almost had this enlightening moment that, wait a minute, they're going to pay me good money here. I love this team. I love this city. I want to be part of this. Called back, essentially said he was sorry, and got the 4-year, $16 million offer to remain the coach of the Bulls to 2009.
The epiphany that Scott Skiles had, what a crossover by Antoine Walker.
To Wade to Shaq, foul.
But that epiphany by Scott Skiles came after he went on the radio and gave an interview in Chicago that was so totally uncharacteristic of who Scott Skiles is. He went home, thought about it for a little while, and said, hey, wait a second, wake up and smell the roses here.
He's underpaid. He should complain. Don't act like, it was wrong for him to say, I deserve more. I did get you into playoffs. There are a lot of guys that didn't get you into playoffs. They're making a lot more money than me. There's nothing wrong with complaining.
Stat numbers.
Huh?
Miami.
Why is it always about the money with you, Steve?
Who's getting the most money at this stage?
The king of ESPN, Mike Tirico.
81-73 Miami. 3.5 left. Third quarter. Chandler. Short. Rebound O'Neal.
What an outlet pass. Shaka in the lane.
Oh. Chandler the block with the foul on the body underneath. As Williams was driving, Kirk Hinrich got an arm on him.
Wasn't that a nice article about Jason Williams and the front page of the Miami Herald today? That complete summary of his career, the initiation of the contact. Tyson Chandler, who loves to send the balls on the block into the stands. One day he will learn that you just guide that to your teammate for a fast break.
TNT tomorrow starts their playoff coverage. I know you guys are watching as they get ready for their games. 3 tomorrow with the Pacers and Nets. We wish our colleagues there the best during their playoff run. On ABC tomorrow, Lakers-Suns. Much anticipated game 1 of that best of 7 from Phoenix. And the Nets and Pacers game 2 on NBA TV on Tuesday night. For that game in Phoenix, they have the whiteout here in Miami today. They are calling for an orange out. 12,000 orange t-shirts being handed out. Dang on the drive. Couldn't get it. But the foul is called on Walker.
I would fit right into an orange out. But Jason Williams is playing under complete control in this game as they've got a 10-point lead here in closing moments of the third. 17 points for Jason Williams, only 1 turnover. And this is for a guy, the son of a state trooper in West Virginia, lived in a 3-bedroom trailer on the grounds of his high school. He has come quite a long way down to South Florida. Congratulations, Jason. Keep it going.
Jack Stitch with 21 and 10. He's only missed 2 field goal attempts so far. Snapper, we of course remember the days when Jason Williams came into the NBA, started in Sacramento, earned the nickname White Chocolate. He had all the fancy passes, looked like the And One mixtape tour, but and certainly his time around 2 legends. First, Jerry West and his influence with Hubie Brown and Mike Fratello in Memphis, and now here with Pat Riley has toned the flash down and brought the substance up.
Well, the one thing that Jason had to know is when to shoot, when to pass, and why. And a lot of those things in Sacramento, he was fighting the process with Rick Adelman. So when he moved on, he got a little bit better, and he's gotten better at it now. The game is still a simple game, and if you do the obvious, you get the result. Nice rebound, Joliet.
He's done a good job. His minutes for O'Neal. Walker touched it while touching the baseline. It will be Chicago ball after this timeout.
Miami's got a lot from their bench tonight, and it's the Bulls who are the second highest scoring bench in the entire NBA. Can Scott Skiles get a little bit more as we're getting into the third?
Chevy makes the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And now they're making it easier to drive one. Down payment assistance from Chevy. You choose a Silverado or Colorado, Chevy will help you get in it. Down payment assistance. A better way to buy or lease a new Chevy pickup. Chevy, America's #1 brand, America's #1 value. Enough said. Chevy, an American revolution.
That is ESPN. This is mobile ESPN. This isn't like sports in your current phone, okay? It's a whole new phone service from ESPN with unique features like Gamecast and the fastest alerts and everything else you need to manage your fantasy teams. It's awesome. That's Neil Everett. Neil! Hey, it's Benny B. Any anchor jobs open? I got the microphone. Anything you can do? Put in a word for your buddy? No?
Switch to mobile ESPN today. Call 1-800-GET-ESPN.
All right, cool. Just call him.
Has the most satisfying win of his career. He's back, and he's ready to fight the unpredictable and relentless Ricardo Mayorga. This time to win, he must be willing to enter the danger zone. Oscar De La Hoya, Ricardo Mayorga. Danger Zone, Saturday, May 6th, live on DirecTV pay-per-view. Don't miss it. Live on DirecTV pay-per-view, channel 123.
DirecTV is the ultimate way to experience NASCAR. Teams knowing,
Officials know it. Fans know it. This season, we're proud to be an official NASCAR sponsor. When it comes down to the finish, all eyes are on DirecTV. NASCAR, driven by DirecTV.
8-point Miami lead, late stages of the third. If you're just joining us, significant and memorable moment happened with 4:30 left in the second quarter. It's the subject of our Wendy's Inside the Game.
Right here! See? And get out of here! Get! I laid off the play. There wasn't a foul. They were just both went after it. He wants a foul. As he's falling, he threw something at me. I don't know whether it was his mouth guard or whether it was a wristband. I don't know what it is.
You hear veteran official Joe Crawford, as I said before, 29th year in the league. Nobody has worked more playoff games, giving the explanation to Dwayne Wade. The star players so often will come over and ask what happened on a play, and the officials do that. And we appreciate the officials and the league letting the fans a little bit closer to understand that intense moment of the game. Things were tightening up. 3-point game at the time. Haslam really upset that there was no foul call. He just lost his mind. That was just a mistake by Haslam. And any referee, veteran, young, any level, if you get something thrown at you during the game, you're going to toss a player. That's exactly what happened there. And you get a chance to hear what was going on the floor in the second quarter.
And the league will have to take very strong action against Udonis Haslam, as you would anticipate. With the next game Monday night, then 2 in Chicago Thursday and Sunday.
It could be a fine. I'm sure they will at least review it to see if there would be a suspension involved. And we'll hear about that over the next 36 hours. A hoop by Hinrich, who was struggling coming into this quarter. He's had a good quarter, Steve, and it's back to a 6-point game.
Yeah, he's picked it up. He's got 10 in the quarter, and he's been able to join Ben Gordon in the scoring, and they need both of those guys cooking at the same time, and somehow they got to get Dang into this ball game as Dwayne Wade goes one-on-one.
Dang has been absolutely a no-show tonight. But with Shaq on the bench, this is the time when Chicago could theoretically get back, but the 2 times he sat out already, that's when the lead has actually grown as the bench has really come to play tonight for Pat Riley.
3 guards here for the Bulls. Duhan, along with Gordon and Hinrich, off this screen. He does such a good job. Right to Nocioni on a pick and roll. Beautiful job by the Bulls. 4-point game. Chicago has never led here tonight.
Exquisite offensive execution. Their outside shot has returned 4 for 4 for 3-point land for Chicago in the third quarter alone.
Hinrich got a hand up to block the pass. Kept alive by Posey. 8 to shoot. Wade wants it back.
He's got to move together.
What's going on here? Payton. Nocioni and Walker fight. The long arms of Deng. Could be a 2 or 1-point game on this trip. Duhan goes baseline. Lost it out of bounds. Wanted the foul. Payton's good defense, forcing the turnover.
Those kinds of mistakes keep the pressure on the Bulls. They're charging, and you want to turn that pressure around right now and make the Miami Heat feel a little bit more heat as the quarter closes.
Posey off the pitch by Williams.
Very difficult shot, running away from the basket. Maybe if you're Larry Bird.
Nocioni off the mark. As we get under a minute here in the third. Wade is fouled. You know, guys, in watching Kirk Hinrich, and we talk about the help defense that Chicago does such a good job with, Hinrich picked up that personal foul, and he now has 4. He does a good job one-on-one against Dwayne Wade, and he always has his hand in the guy's face on the shot. He is so fundamentally sound on the defensive end.
He is a terrific basketball player, and he never gets tired. Phenomenal physical condition, playing for the legend Roy Williams in college, and now coming and getting to learn from a master teacher in Scott Skiles. This guy's got star written all over him.
2 for Wade. He's 4 of 12 in this game. 13 of 49 against the Bulls this year.
And since Shaq went to the bench, Miami's only scored 2 points.
Nocioni. Duhan was cutting. Wade to Payton. Nice job by Gary to corral it. Miami back to an 8-point edge.
Some people would argue that would be a traveling violation.
Yeah, he catch the ball first. So there's no argument.
If you tip it to yourself and you're still running, isn't that control? No.
5 the difference. Game and shot clock. Duhan has to make it happen quick. Gordon, a 3. Such a high arc because of his size. Wade would love to get a good last shot look here. Good defense by Duhan, and Hinrich got it up. And that ends the third.
That's great team defense. Stripped down low by Duhan. The other guy comes from behind and forces the miss.
The Chicago Bulls trailed by 2 after 1, down a dozen at the half. But we head to the fourth quarter, and we have got a game. The Bulls hit all 5 of their triples in the third. Pat Riley's team leads by 5. Game 1 of the best of 7 opening round on the opening night of the 2006 playoffs.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough.
Let us observe my client after eating a spicy chicken burrito.
I was full.
And what were you full of?
Great taste.
Fullness and great taste from a value menu. I do believe I rest my case.
Taco Bell's Big Bell Value Menu featuring the spicy chicken burrito with shredded chicken simmered in Mexican spices to keep your stomach and your wallet full. Anything outside the bun.
Meet the all-new 2007 Chevy Suburban with a rear-view camera system, power remote liftgate, head curtain side airbags in all 3 rows, and power-release fold and tumble second row seats. Every big family is gonna want one. The all-new Chevy Suburban.
And we are here courtside with Vince Carter. Vince, you were amazing out there.
And that's why we don't feed the dog people food. Hey, Uncle Carl. Hey, Ma, how you doing? All refrigerators make a little noise. How about some avocado? We can make guacamole. Cook it medium heat. Don't put it on the phone. No, don't put it. Hey, Grandma.
With T-Mobile, families talk free. Share 700 whenever minutes. Just $59.99.
The dog? Yeah, he's bulimic.
T-Mobile, official wireless partner of families and the NBA.
We need you to come with us.
What the hell is this?
It's Hunt. I know it's Hunt.
What else you got?
Rated PG-13.
We're on a journey to find real people who love their Weber grills. Like Jerry Thompson and his wife, Sandy. So where are we?
3 miles from shore on a deserted island.
This is one heck of a backyard.
Paradise. That little Weber Q just makes it even better. It's trouble-free. It's dependable. It always gives me what I want, and I can cook anything I want on it. Who wants to cook in a kitchen?
Real people with real passion for their Weber grills.
It cooks exactly like I want it to.
Go to WeberNation.com to find out more about what you get when you buy a Weber grill.
Off we go to the fourth quarter from Miami. The Bulls scored 31 in the third to make this the closest of the first 3 playoff games on opening day and night of the 2006 NBA playoffs. With Mark Jones, Steve Jones, and Bill Walton, Mike Tirico. Game 4, the LA Clippers in the playoffs. It's been a while since we said that. Taking on the Denver Nuggets. Brett Musburger, Tom Tolbert, Jim Gray coming up next. This game available on many of the ESPN platforms. Our full circle menu, the game here, above the rim with commentary from John Saunders and the guys in New York on ESPN2. Customized coverage and stats in broadband on ESPN 360. ESPN News, in-game analysis, and our post-game extra coming up. Shaq inside, misses his first shot, and Andres Nocioni comes away with it for the Bulls.
Well, the Bulls are doing what they did when they finished the season so strong. Find ways to stay in games and finally try to get a hold of their scoreboard. Ben Gordon has been leading the way, and Nocioni and Hinrich have helped out. So it's a 5-point game, and it's really up to the Miami Heat to take the energy out of the Bulls right now.
Antoine Walker forcing that miss. The lunge, encouraging Nocioni to arc it a little bit higher than he'd normally like to. The resultant miss.
Shaq pitches it out for Wade, who is wide right. Dwayne Wade continues to struggle against the Bulls.
The numbers don't lie. He just has difficulty playing. He can't score, can't shoot.
Gordon, a three!
This guy can.
Ben Gordon, 11 field goals, has 29 points, 5 of 9 from behind the line.
And Chicago's got to tell themselves, we're in better shape. We're younger. We can run these guys. We outscored them by 7 in the third. We do that again. This game is ours.
Walker on Nocioni. Draws the contact, didn't get it. Shaq tried to pull it away. Here come the Bulls with a chance to tie or take the lead.
Do not slow down if you're Chicago. Milk the hot hand. Gordon, a three.
Short and rebounded by O'Neal.
That was a huge check on a white hot night for Ben Gordon.
Who writes your stuff? Shaq, the double is coming from Deng, but the foul by Tyson Chandler first. And Chandler has 3 personal fouls.
Tyson Chandler gives that look like, what else can I do? I got to be able to put my knees, arms, elbows on him in order to have a chance to keep him out of the block. Hinrich back in the ball game.
No, before we go any further, guys, Tyson Chandler's wife, Kimberly, is at home waiting to give birth to their first child, and Chandler hopes to be there when it happens. Game 2 of the series is Monday. Game 3 is Tuesday. And the
Thursday's Game 3.
Yes, did I say Game 3 Thursday? That's Game 2 this Monday. I apologize. Thank you, Bill. Gordon back the other way, right around Jason Williams, over Gary Payton. Game tied at 87, and Pat Riley has to stop it. Down a dozen at the break. The Bulls have come back, down as many as 14 in this one, and they're being led by a terrific performance from Ben Gordon. 31 points in Game 1. The Bulls are trying to steal one.
Want to hear the latest? Now there are 3 ways to get music on your phone. Download it straight to your phone. Find it at VerizonWireless.com/music or rip it from your own collection. Try them all with the new VCast Music Phone by LG. Now just $69.99. Only from Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
Don't do subpar. Do Wendy's new Frascata sandwiches. Stacked with premium meats, natural Swiss, and fresh veggies. On freshly baked artisan bread. Anything less is just a sub sandwich. Do a new Frascata today. Only at Wendy's. Do what tastes right.
Virtually inaccessible, the remote Northern Territory is a fortress of alpine peaks. The terrain so brutal, its beauty has seldom been seen by human eyes. Only the most adventuresome have ever set foot in this desolate, yet picturesque landscape. With no roads, the Northern Territory remains.
This is much better than the movie. The all-new 7-passenger Jeep Commander. It's your world. Take command.
Nothing brings out the kid in you like the scrumptious combination of milk chocolate and Airy Krispies. Nestle Crunch, for the kid in you.
439 blocks. 3,491 rebounds. 3,788 points in the paint. 498 dunks.
Wade, yes!
901,600 fans yelling. All for the Miami Heat to earn the right to keep on playing. The NBA playoffs now playing.
Yeah, well, I was going to say you better have it.
Time now for the Taco Bell update as we take a look at games earlier today. If you saw the San Antonio Spurs and you're a coach in the playoffs in the NBA, you should be very, very frightened. Tony Parker with a drive right there. This thing was not even close. I'm picking the Spurs. You think so? To win that series. With a 44-point win, I think you can, or a 34-point win, you can go with that. Meanwhile, LeBron James had a triple-double in his first ever playoff game. So, as you can see, the Cavs take a game number 1 over the Wizards. The rest of them yet to start, except for the Heat and the Bulls. We have a game tied at 87. Mike, back to you.
John, thank you. Here in Miami, best game of the day so far. Ben Gordon only played the first series that Chicago lost to Washington last year. Still a playoff career best. 31 points early in the fourth. Game tied at 87.
That last game, the Game 6 closer that Washington won at home, Ben Gordon an absolute no-show there, as Shaquille O'Neal has been in the second half tonight.
Wade on the drive, right at Chandler, spinning layup try, leaves Wade behind the play. 5-on-4, the Bulls for the lead. Duhan for 3. Rebounded by Jason Williams. Shandon Anderson's on the floor for Miami, into the rotation because of the Haslam injury.
Suspension or disqualification for Haslam, and that cost Pat Riley big time. But with Shaquille O'Neal in the first half, 14 points, 7 for 8 baskets. In the second half, Shaq just 2 for 4 field goals. 7 points he does have, but 3 of those been on the free throw line. He had 5 blocks in the first half, and he didn't have a single block here in the second half.
So what are you suggesting?
He's either gotten tired or they've gone away from him, and neither of those stories are good.
Wade turns it over. The struggle continues for Wade, who's 4 of 16. Gordon stutter step. Wade the block. The finish by Chandler. The Bulls take the lead for the first time tonight.
What the Wolves have been trying to do is use their speed, their quickness, and they've stretched the game out. So now it's up to Dwayne Wade and Shaquille O'Neal to try to reel them back in.
And I love the fact that Chicago stays right up in full court press with a 94 feet.
Wade trying to shake free of Duhan now. Hinrich has 4 fouls. Shaq caught it outside the paint. Brought it in there.
Offensive foul once again. Tony Brothers waving it off and saying that pivot, that use of the elbow to the face will not stand.
4 fouls on Shaq.
Jason Williams out of the ball game as we take one more look at Shaq's effort as they start to drop back in the paint and take away his room to work.
6th offensive foul of the night on the Miami Heat playing at home.
There's a lot of murmuring in this building right now. There's a lot of nervous Miami fans. Gordon on fire, lost it, got hit on the way up. That foul will not be on O'Neal, but it'll be on Shandon Anderson coming across. Guys, how have the Bulls come back from down 14 to get themselves up 2?
Well, the one thing they've done, which they always do, is they just continue to compete. They got Hinrich going in the third quarter, and then Ben Gordon just continued to lay shots from all over the place, and as an offensive player, he's got it going, and he's leading the attack here in the fourth quarter.
But it's not just Ben Gordon. It's Kurt Hinrich, his floor leadership, the toughness, the big game presence of Andres Nocioni, and give a lot of credit to Tyson Chandler, who has played an outstanding game here tonight. Not a totally skilled player, certainly not on the offensive end for Tyson, but he has not backed down, and Shaq's towering, enormous presence here, he has been a major factor for Scott Skiles.
Miami scored in the first half, struggling from the field. Again, Wade, 4 of 16, forcing it a little, but getting to the line. Duhan picking up the foul. That's 4 on Chris. Kirk Hinrich also has 4 fouls.
They're going to use the ball to keep Wade out of an offensive rhythm, and Wade has not really found it from the perimeter. Does a good job of pump faking and getting Duhan to foul him and give him a chance to go to the free throw line, but they have got to get Wade in the fourth quarter of play if they need to win this game.
The good news for Chicago, they are in control of this game, and they have done it with very little contribution from Chris Duhan and Luol Deng, 2 critically important players. If they can even find somewhat of a game, watch out for Chicago.
Read the stat there on the right, and I can explain that in 2 words. Michael Jordan.
The only
whose jersey, his Bulls jersey, is retired here in Miami. It hangs up over our shoulder to the left. Hinrich down the lane. Sees 2, knows somebody's free. Nocioni put it on the floor, got it back, couldn't convert.
Antoine Walker again defensively.
Wade all the way. Chandler meets him. And 1.
the fourth quarter that Dwayne Wade had against the Detroit Pistons here. When they were struggling, Wade finally got into it, and he got into it on these kinds of plays, going to the rim, attacking, and won. And he has a chance for a three-point play to give Miami back the lead.
That was on February 12th when Wade scored the last 17 points in a row as Miami beat Detroit, but he misses the free throw. Wade has 20 on 10 free throws. He also has 10 assists here in the game.
It's a hard 20, but if he keeps going to the free throw line, he's going to pick up some cheap numbers. Gordon pushed off.
Didn't make it. O'Neal followed him. Shaq has been active on the defensive end the last few trips. Miami a chance to retake the lead.
They're going to isolate Dwayne Wade down low. He should be able to get what he wants here against Chris Duhon.
It's more of the decision-making for Wade at the offensive end. When he pulls up like that, Scott Skiles has got to have a timeout.
Great comeback by the Chicago native from Oakland, Illinois, on the south side of the city, out of Richards High School, against the team he grew up rooting for and watching Jordan dominate. Wade, at pressure time, has scored the last 6. Miami back on top by 2.
The new Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT8. With the power to go from 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. It's a force of nature.
The Denny's PBA Tour, Sunday at 1 on ESPN.
It's hot out there. I want to give a shout out to the block party on 57th Ave because it's definitely another hot day in the city. Come on, man, get over here.
This month, only on DirecTV pay-per-view, an Academy Awards recount.
Hi, folks. How y'all doing again?
A month-long celebration of this year's nominated movies.
Who are the people? Are they elected? Are they appointed?
I have no idea.
Grab your remote. The nominees start on Channel 125.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
April is Academy Awards month on DirecTV pay-per-view.
Okay, fellas, here we go.
And this time, the big winner is you.
Good night, and good luck.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Jeep. Express your freedom in the one and only Jeep 4x4. See your local dealer today. And Power Bar Triple Threat. It feels like a power bar, tastes like a candy bar.
Off Biscayne Bay, here in Miami, the American Airlines Arena, rocking. Heat lead by 2. You know, guys, one of the beauties of the playoffs are watching the young players step onto these big stages. And 23-year-old Ben Gordon, 24-year-old Dwayne Wade, leading their teams here tonight. Tight game as we approach the halfway point in the fourth. The veteran Gary Payton caused the turnover. Shaq to the ground to get it for Miami.
Well, the crowd surging is one here in Miami. Duhon has got to get Wade along the baseline. Don't let him come out in the front of the court.
Duhon is no longer guarding him.
Shaq couldn't convert, got hit back, threw it down.
2 big hustle plays by Shaquille O'Neal. 1 to go on the floor to get it. Then DeCase's own miss to put the Heat up by 4.
But who's going to fight for that ball underneath the defensive basket for Chicago?
Now, they've all been doing a good job. It's not one person. Collectively, this is a small, scrappy team. Duhon for 3. They just continue to find ways to stay in games. You got to put them down.
About to 8-0 run, 1-point game. They're involving Shaq in a lot of pick-and-roll defense, but you can see some of the weight Shaq lost. He's very active recovering back to the rim in these defensive sets for Miami.
But they're not coming to double-team Shaq, and that's a good strategy right now.
Only Tyson Chandler.
Three times into the post.
And it finally works. Keep reposting the big fella.
Well, they're waiting to come, and when he goes quickly, there's nothing they can do. If he puts the ball on the floor, there's a swarm of red jerseys around Shaq. He's got 4 in the quarter.
25 for the game. The Bulls using their mobility and their speed, trying to find an open shot. The double with 3 to shoot. Nocioni doesn't see it, and he threw it away to Walker.
Shrinkage. We're seeing it on behalf of the Chicago Bulls right now.
Shrinkage? What kind of shrinkage?
Shaq touched it all 3 trips. Put back by Shandon Anderson will draw a foul and 2 free throws as the Bulls are over the limit.
What kind of shrinkage are we seeing by the Bulls? It's a 3-point game.
Competitive greatness. Do your best when your best is needed. Turnovers. Missed shots, the inability to dig the ball out defensively. How are you going to win on the road? That's what shrinkage is.
Shandon Anderson comes to the line, tireless worker.
It is a good thing that we had that long pause so you could come up with that.
Anderson, who only played in 48 games this year, a dependable 32-year-old veteran. You can gear up for the playoffs with caps from the NBA Store, NBAstore.com. You'll find a wide selection of styles for all teams. Shop now, NBA Store on NBAstore.com.
The Heat making a living at the free throw line. 27 attempts on the night. 24 makes. Chicago only 13 free throw attempts.
Hinrich poses after knocking down a 3.
So, what about the shrinkage? 2-point game.
Inside of 5 minutes left, the Bulls have lived by the line. That free throw disparity, that happens all year for Chicago. They have as many attempts all year, or makes, I should say, or attempts, I was right, as their opponents have makes. They don't get to the line a lot. Wade, Payton, open. Missed the 3.
Chicago's better off defensively if they can keep Wade on the baseline, or they can use that end line as an extra teammate.
Well, Hinrich has done a good job of defending Dwayne Wade, making him make some tough decisions. Chicago down by 2. Hinrich had it tied up.
Easy board for O'Neal. Shaq 25 and 15 here tonight.
This is where you call a timeout, you give Shaq a little bit of water, you come out, you dump it into him early on, and you say, time to feast at the table that we have set.
Once a big man, always a big man.
The very thought of you, and I forget to do the little ordinary things.
Armor All Wax, wipes, and tire shines. Go ahead, stare.
Game 2 of this series will be in Miami on Monday night at 8 o'clock. Game 3 in Chicago. See, TNT will have the coverage of that, and the coverage of those Eastern series get going. The Cavaliers were impressive. LeBron with a triple-double as the Cavs won by 11 over Washington. Game 2 of that series on Tuesday night. The Pistons, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Indiana, and Chicago, all 5 teams from the Central Division making it. First time in 20 years that an entire division is in the postseason. The Midwest was 6 teams back when they did it in 85-86. Chicago over the limit. Miami only 1 foul in this 4th quarter in the first 8 minutes and 1 second of it.
Now Wade is going to use a pick and roll to try to get himself a little room and try to make it happen for the Miami Heat.
Shandon Anderson the shot. Shaq.
It's a huge rebound by Shaq.
Nocioni is just battling over the top of Shaq.
Andres wasn't going to get that one. Gets the personal, and O'Neal comes to the line. 5 on Nocioni.
They get that foul and Tyson Chandler inside, but Shaq just a tremendous effort to reach out and snare it with his arm.
5 on Chandler, I beg your pardon. So Shaq comes to the line, and every time you get to the playoffs, you start thinking, are you going to use the hack-a-Shaq and foul, which you can do up until the 2-minute mark. 51% career free throw shooter.
I think in a lot of cases where you're down big in the game, it might help you a little bit, but Shaq eventually gets a rhythm. What Chicago needs to do is just continue to play. Don't worry about fouling Shaq until you get down into a 1 minute and less and the game is still close.
And when we asked Scott Skiles about if he would use it, he said he might, but it's not the first option he would use. It depends how Shaq looks in his free throws during the game. And as you said, Steve, the situation.
Interesting how the competition committee, wild shot.
A wild shot that almost went in by Ben Gordon.
Almost. Not playing horseshoes here, Steve. But the interesting rule change for next year.
Wade to the right, 5-point game. Gordon had the huge third quarter. It's been Wade here in the fourth, coming out of the shooting doldrums.
And this is where Chicago is not at the championship level yet.
Nocioni over O'Neal. That's a tough job and a good make.
But somebody who can create some offense, somebody who can look at Shaq and say, hey, forget shrinkage. How about inhaling and just growing, breathing life into a squad?
Well, they've been getting Wade the ball in the middle of the floor, giving him a little bit more room to read and make a play, coming back against Hinrich.
Oh, man, Dwayne Wade. He was going like a snake from the top of the key into the paint. 4 different trips in this quarter. Nocioni wants it. Gets it, a 3! Andres Nocioni, 18 points, 14 rebounds.
Where is that shrinkage, Bill? Is it a 2-point game, that competitive greatness? They just keep throwing it in your face.
So how about pushing Dwayne Wade to the sideline, get him down along that baseline, because down the middle of the lane, he is unstoppable.
To the big fella. Trip by Chandler, and that's 6. Tyson Chandler has fouled out. Shaq free throws after the timeout. Shaquille O'Neal carried the Miami Heat in the first quarter. He is 11 of 16 from the field. They've been using them inside, and Dwayne Wade's penetration. Despite Chicago hitting 13 threes, it's still Miami up 2. And Tyson Chandler just fouled out.
Let's grab some McDonald's.
You buying?
Why do I always have to buy?
Because you're the one with the fancy job.
And the fancy tie. You know what? There. Now you're the one who's buying.
The tie did touch you last.
Money's tight these days. Good thing there's McDonald's Dollar Menu. Get a juicy double cheeseburger or other favorites for only $1.
Jeep Wrangler, the original freedom machine.
And down to the floor is Dwayne Wade.
This ain't the first time. What to again? Spend all your time in a little cubicle.
20,288 in attendance at the American Airlines Arena, a playoff record for this building. They're seeing a very good game and quite a three-point show by the Bulls, who have tied a franchise record with 13 threes made in a playoff game. The NBA record in a playoff game is 20. George Karl Sonics did that in '96. And Georgia's Denver Nuggets will take on the Clippers in the fourth game of our opening night quadruple header on ABC and ESPN. Clippers-Nuggets game 1 from Staples. Brent Musburger, Tom Tolbert, Jim Gray coming up as soon as we're done here in Miami. Shaq at the line with 2:13 to go.
Critical free throws for Shaquille. He's got to at least get one to keep it at a three-point lead for the Miami Heat. We'll see how he works. Last 2 times down, he's gotten his first free throw and missed the second. Ouch. Not that one.
Even though Shaq is unquestionably one of the worst free throw shooters in the history of basketball, how many games have they lost because of his missed free throws? Very few.
1 for 2.
Since somebody seems to have turned your microphone off, Steve.
3-point game. Again, Miami, only one team foul in the quarter, so in 2 minutes here, they'll have one to give. Gordon, foul on the drive.
Shaq looked like he made a great recovery on the block.
Question is, was the hand on the body to pick up the 5th personal foul against O'Neal?
When Ben Gordon's able to turn this corner, Shaq out of position, easy play to call, just getting him right across the head to get to that ball.
Shaq's got 5.
In that situation, you want to come from behind, because the backboard and the rim are already your allies. You know where the ball has to come to get it into the basket.
You have to come from behind to get to where? To the ball?
To the ball.
Oh, okay. 8 in the quarter for Gordon.
Now 9, Steve, and 35 points for Gordon. Here's steal by Gordon. 1-point game at the 2-minute mark. Each team a couple of timeouts. Hinrich back with the defense on Wade. Double by Malik Allen, and the foul comes. And Wade grabs his left knee.
Injuries were the problem for the Heat last year, who had the home court advantage. Dwayne Wade unable to deliver in Game 7. Shaq the same way.
Well, the one thing that the Miami Heat try to avoid is knees clashing, so they wear the knee pads in practice. But the Bulls don't have them on, so they gave a pretty good shot on his knee. He has a chance to keep it at 3 with these free throws.
Wade has 11 in the quarter. He came into this quarter 4 of 13 from the field. He's hit 4 of his 7 field goals. And now back at the line, Jason Williams comes in.
Anderson goes out of the ball game, going to try to get a little bit more defensive presence on Ben Gordon, who has been able to turn the corner and get inside the defense. Wade, you can go.
I'd put Gary Payton on Ben Gordon right now. Plus, you've got to defend the threes, and Shannon Anderson wasn't getting that done.
Jack out on Hinrich. Adjust in the air. Another deflection by Antoine Walker. Payton nearly turned it over on the dribble. 90 seconds left. 3-point Miami lead.
Walker has been everywhere defensively all night long.
He has 4 steals. Wade to Walker. On Nocioni. Rebound by Andres.
Antoine Walker has so much size and strength on Nocioni to be able to get whatever he wants in the paint.
He's getting whatever he wants. He's not making it. They should have come back to Dwayne Wade in that possession.
Hinrich trying to go all the way. Turned away. 7 to shoot. He takes it. Rebound Jason Williams.
Too much dribbling. That's not Chicago's game.
Final minute. Fans to their feet. Hinrich on defense. Wade goes at him. Jason Williams. A 3. Rebound by Wade. Scott Skiles says just play straight up defense. 30 seconds left. It will be Wade over Hinrich. Rebound Gordon. And he's fouled. He's fouled, but again, it's the first. Oh, no, it should be the second to the last 2 minutes. So we get the free throws, right? Loose ball. Yep. So Bulls will take the timeout. They'll have possession. 3-point game, 18.2 to go. Chicago ball. Shot clock is off. The Bulls, who've hit so many threes tonight, have one more chance.
Rated T for teen.
In 2013, a new breed of soldier will be unleashed.
Cross-con, on.
Cover! Go, go, go! Send in the bird! Affirmative. Apache's en route. Target locked. That's that tank. Move! Where's my Apache? Inbound hot, Ghost Leader.
Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter.
And I... It's...
Clippers Nuggets next. Heat by 3. Bulls ball. Guys, each take a team. Bill, why don't I start with you with Miami? What would you be talking about in that huddle?
One stop. No breakdowns defensively. Shaq has been defending the pick and roll pretty well. He comes out, though. If you get the ball back, don't let Shaq handle on the offensive end.
If you're Chicago, you want a quick-hitting play. You don't have to get a three right now. Ben Gordon has been able to turn that corner and either get a shot or get the foul. So it should be either Gordon or Hinrich trying to make the play.
Bulls able to advance it after the foul and the timeout call. They have one left if they can't get it in. Duhan to Nocioni, a quick three. Off the mark, rebounded by Wade. They got a foul here, and they do.
That could not have been the play that Scott Skiles threw up. What is he thinking?
Wade has been grimacing here after taking that shot in the knee, but I agree with you.
Well, from the Red Bull to the Raging Bull, he was thinking trying the game up. That's what he was doing. And you know, you hear him say it all the time. He got a good look, but in this situation, you got to play the clock and try to extend the game. Don't give Miami a chance to build a lead by putting them on the line.
That was not a good look. He was guarded, just smothered, if you will. How about penetration of dish to Ben Gordon for the look? If you're going to get an early three.
4-point game, 14.3. The Bulls have one timeout remaining.
Now Shaq has been removed from the game.
Well, the fourth quarter belongs to Dwayne Wade. He's got 14, and the lead is 5.
That's after he struggled in the first 3 quarters, Steve. And we talked about when will he solve the Bulls' defense against him. 4 of 13 from the field, but did not get frustrated and kept going close to get the shots. And maybe those drives that he took in the third and the fourth quarter helped get Wade going offensively.
Well, I think really the difference was where they were putting him to get the score. They started putting him at the top of the key and giving him a chance to make a move and read the defense. When he was on the side, he was having a lot more trouble picking him up.
Hey, no matter what happens in this last 14.3, Miami's in good shape. Is this better than you thought the Bulls would do in this game 1 setting?
I thought the Bulls would play very well. I've been disappointed in the crunch time when the Bulls did not get what they needed to by getting the ball to Gordon and getting something out of Luol Deng, getting some better play out of Chris Duhan, some smarter play out of Tyson Chandler. If they can make those adjustments, they've got a chance to win.
And this is where we remind you, they are the baby Bulls. They're a very young team, and playoff pressure and experience of being through it so important in these situations. Hinrich able to save it. 10 seconds. They need something. Trying to draw the contact. And by doing so, missed the layup, but does get the foul call. And Pat Riley could not believe that Wade was whistled for his third.
That's a tough call against Dwayne Wade because Kirk Hinrich not only was out of control as Wade limps off.
This is not a good sign, Steve.
That's not a bad sign. I think it's a Charlie horse.
Steve, they got a game Monday night against a younger, healthier, fresher team. I had a bad angle to view that foul. But when you jump in to somebody, and Ron Culp, the longtime trainer of the Miami Heat, has been in the NBA for 36 years now.
You have to get him out here, I think, guys.
Well,
yeah, they are.
They got to get that Charlie horse calmed down. But 8.6 seconds left in the game. With the Heat possession, all I have to do is pass the ball around.
I'm not sure what that injury is, Steve. It's not looking good. And with a short turnaround here, Monday night.
Hinrich makes them both. 3-point game.
You got a foul right away.
Anderson looking for the inbounds. Gets it to James Posey, who almost lost it and is fouled by Hinrich.
In that situation, you want to face guard everybody. Make him throw over the top.
That should be Heinrich's last, guys. Should be his sixth. It is, and Kurt Hinrich is fouled out. 19 points, 8 assists for Hinrich tonight.
Hinrich had an impact in the second half. A big third quarter and some points here in the fourth to really keep Chicago in the ball game. And no matter what is said about Miami winning the game, Chicago has come in here and competed and shown that they're not going to go away quietly. This is not going to be like last year against the Washington Wizards.
So the attrition of this game, we've seen 2 Bulls foul out. Dwayne Wade hobble off with an injury. Already seen an ejection of Udonis Haslem. Miami already without Alonzo Mourning. And this is just to get win 1. You need 16 to get the gold ball. And more importantly, James Posey needs to make this free throw or else the Bulls will call timeout, get it at midcourt, and have a chance to tie.
And of all the players on the court, Chicago fouled the right guy.
Posey, 79% shooter.
But how many big free throws at the end of games has he made?
Well, there's one, so he's got to start. When we come back, he'll probably have a few more.
You'll open up the box score tomorrow or log on to ESPN.com tonight, check it out, and see that Miami made 18 more free throws than Chicago. But as we were saying, that has been the Bulls' story all year. They don't get to the line. Their opponents get to the line a lot more, and as much as any team in the league, and they're going to have to make outside shots if they're going to contend in this series.
When you attack the rim the way Shaq and Dwayne Wade do, you're going to get to the free throw line. When the game becomes a scrum underneath the basket, and you got Shaq on your team, those numbers are always going to be like that.
Told by the other side of the court by the Heat that Dwayne Wade just has a cramp. So even though he's grabbing at the knee area, it's nothing with the knee. And that's the best news for Miami, as you said, game 2 of this series Monday night.
The lack of V8 juice being consumed in this league is appalling.
You have the remedy for cramps, and you're the only person in sports that knows it?
No, it's a common...
You see football players going down in the heat with cramps, baseball players, basketball players, and you're the only one in America that knows that that's what it is.
That's not what I said at all.
V8 juice.
Chicago right now in a very difficult situation.
Bill.
Down 4, 7.3 to go. You got to jack one up quickly. This is where Nocioni has to jack one up, not the previous possession.
You take it 2. Again, you're trying to extend the game and maybe make the Miami Heat give you one more chance before you take the 3. That's what's put them in this situation.
Out of timeouts, Duhan's a trigger. Eric Piatkowski, who hit a 3 late in the first half, has come in off the bench. Trying to get it to Gordon. They can't. It's Malik Allen. He's got to do something. Takes a deep 2. He misses. Antoine Walker the rebound. 1.1 to go. And the Miami Heat are going to get game 1.
Jason Williams' defense that time on the ball, denying Chris Duhon any sort of look. And then as soon as he was jumping up and down to cut off those passing lanes, Jason Williams quickly recovered and denied any sort of reception back to Duhon, who was the most dangerous man as the inbounder.
Storylines tonight, Ben Gordon, a playoff career high, only his 7th playoff game, 35 points. O'Neal had 27, 16, 5 blocks in the first half. Dwayne Wade had 30 and 11 assists. Of course, the ejection of Udonis Haslem will be a story tomorrow. Through his mouthpiece at Joey Crawford after getting a no-foul call in the second. The Bulls were down 14, came back, got the lead, hit a bunch of threes. It was not enough. 111-106, game 1 to the Heat. Denver and the Clippers, the 4th game of this opening playoff night coming up. Shaquille O'Neal standing by with Mark Jones. Mark, go ahead.
Shaq, 27 and 16 for you in this game. What did you guys learn about yourselves in facing a tough Bulls team tonight?
We know it's going to be a good matchup for us, but we just got to come out here and do the little things. First half, they got us with a couple of questionable calls. We had too many turnovers in the first half, so we're going to go back and look at film, and we're going to make some adjustments, and we'll be fine.
How much did it affect you guys when Udonis got kicked out of the ball game?
It affected us a lot. He's one of our, greatest rebounders. He's one of our toughest defenders. So, but, we just got to, everyone has to come in, just do their part. Tonight we did that. I still feel we made too many little mistakes. But, like I said, we're going to go back and watch the film and make some adjustments, and we'll be fine.
Why was Dwayne able to do his thing in the 4th quarter as opposed to the previous 3?
Well, that's what he does. Previous 3, he was looking for guys like, myself, and 4th quarter is his. He just has to, take his time and, just play.
All right, Shaqzilla, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
Mark, thank you. Game 2, Monday night, 8 Eastern here in Miami. Games 3 and 4 in Chicago on Thursday and Sunday on ABC. Our producer, Ken Wolf, director Ken Dennis, Marty Aronoff with us here for Stats. Now with Mark Jones, Steve Jones, and Bill Walton, Mike Tirico. Game 4 of this opening night of the 2006 NBA playoffs coming up from Staples Center, the Clippers and Nuggets. We'll see you on ESPN News for a post-game extra. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. The Heat get Game 1. Now to Los Angeles in the Staples Center. Here's Brent Musburger.
And Mike, we continue on ESPN in high definition. Folks, it's been 9 long